I'm Sam. I'm commentating this game, or next game, today.
Hi Sam.
Oh, nice to meet you. So my first men's game for the year, so bear with me. I live in Catherine. Yeah.
K-Town?
Yep, good old K-Town. She's good. Been there for a while now, so...
Got you into this.
Ah.
You actually doing another game, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to Kazali's next. Ryan asked me and I was like, oh, like only if you're desperate. And he was like, oh, I'll get back to you. And then he sent the email and I was like, I guess I'm doing it. I just like umpire, play. Then they wanted some commentators for our grand final in Catherine a couple of years ago, and then
okay. So you.
I did that, and then Tara was like, "Do you want to do something, Darwin?" And I was like, "Oh, sure." So
You just make sure. I always have a bit of radio with the ABC.
Yeah.
But I call off this here. There's no point talking about something that's
Off screen.
Off
Yeah.
screen. For me, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't think that through.
On radio, it's okay because.
Yeah, it's just moved.
So you have Samantha, or you just call you Sam?
Call me Sam. Been rolling my maiden name at the moment too, so I was doing some Googling on my way here.
So you live in Catherine?
Yeah.
And did you drive up?
Yeah, my mate played at midday at TIO, so
Oh,
I was down there. Actually, Ryan put me on here because it's like on my way, but I was like, oh, I was going in anyway, so yeah. Play for Saints, so they were over at Tiwi today.
of course they are.
Yeah.
A lot of people call them Dirt Wanderers. They're not Dirt Wanderers.
Just wonders.
Just
Yeah.
Wanderers.
Yeah.
It's usually Southerners that come up in, because they're playing test cricket.
Yeah.
It's not they
Muck Seagulls, yeah. What's the score in this game? Is there a scoreboard somewhere?
I see.
Oh, I see underneath it, yeah.
The scoreboard will be on there always when you...
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Oh.
So you know what they're doing.
I don't care what they're doing, I just make up my own mind.
Yeah, I've been doing that
Forever.
how long have I known you now? 18 years?
Yeah, bear with me. I'll try to talk some smack, but...
The other thing is, when there's a scrimmage going on,
Yeah.
usually we'll see who kicks the goal
Off there,
off the, but
yeah.
if we don't, watch them as they're sort of up, because they'll have their
Yeah.
bum in their head or that sort of
Yeah.
stuff, because it's important that we get the goal kickers.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just so bloody
Oh,
hard. If we could do that, and
yeah.
well, I think that was,
So-and-so.
yeah.
Put my foot in it in the women's the other week, so... Yeah. There was a kid off the ball and I just... And I said to rang Tara and I said, oh, I know I shouldn't have said it, and Ryan was sitting with me and I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. And then it just fucking blew up. I was like, I was like, oh, disappointing that dirty off the ball kid didn't get paid a free kick. And it just blew up and I was like, and I knew as soon as I said it, I looked at Ryan and I was like, I shouldn't have said that.
I know it's hard not to, you get too wrapped up.
Yeah. God, it blew up on me.
Unfortunately, that was an umpire for 1,000 years as well.
Yeah, well, I used to umpire and I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
out.
you tend to support the umpires.
Yeah.
And they stuck up, which is rare. You know, you want to be critical, but you just say, well, didn't think that was
Yeah,
it.
that you're right.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Oh, Butters, Tiwi's beating Saints.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. $59.53.
Yeah, that was
Quarter,
like,
third
that was
quarter.
nearly 5 minutes ago.
Oh, was it?
It'd be nice if they kick straight, they'd be 5 goals
Well,
up.
that people come here and then offensive. So how many goals you can put in?
Got it. I've often done that, so I'm learning.
The other thing that I do too is if say Nathan Arbon kicks a goal in the first quarter, I usually put 1 and kick
Oh,
it
yeah.
2. So then I can say kick 1 in the first,
First
1 in the
quarter,
second.
yeah. I've been going like along, like quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3,
Oh,
quarter
okay.
4.
Yeah, but then you got to sort of,
Add them all up.
yeah. I mean, you do it how you want to.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
how
I'm
I do
open to any tips. I'm not.
That's how I do it.
Early days. Early
Right.
days.
Because the timekeepers come out and said they would be
Yeah, when I was getting that, I was full getting trolled on social media the other week, and I was just like, I'm not commentating like elite players. Like, I've commentated like 6 to 8 games. Like, go for it, troll me if you want, but have a look at the context.
Yep.
We're in, like,
He has indeed. He's good man. Thank you.
am I kicking us off, or are you kicking us off?
You start.
Yep.
Yeah. And then at quarter time, half time, welcome back after
Yeah, and I hate when I get
at the end we have
Yeah.
the last word. Well, that's it, round 11. It was Wanderers by 79 points, bit of a turn up, but nonetheless that's NTFL football. Very Christmas to one another.
Yeah, perfect.
Don't call me, I'll call you. Good.
Enjoy sitting in that aircon. No. There's too much managers down there.
Do you drive back tonight?
Much managers are
Nah, I'm gonna play. I'm a teacher, so
Oh, you finished?
still holidays.
Yeah.
So I'll stay up until I'll play Monday night, just to give one, play today, and then I'll
But it's, I mean, I've
go back.
been here 40 odd years and I just don't like driving at night.
Yeah,
Too many bloody animals. When the buffaloes are around, it can be worse.
yeah. Done that drive a bit now, and you can work out when, what time of year, where they are, where they sit, where they hang, and stuff. But it's still dangerous. Like, it's still like,
You'll be buggered too, mate.
Right, work together.
yeah,
Where's Footy? Still doing the shoes up?
yeah. I got heaps of friends here and stuff, so it's pretty easy. Yeah, I was playing at Night Cliff, and I was like, I'm just a classic territory now, just jumping clubs.
Oh, so you got mates at Saints or you?
Yeah, I'm good mates with Ryan Smith.
Yep.
So like he hit me up when he got confirmed coaching and was like, so you're coming across now? I've never been coached by him either, so I was like, oh. tossed and turned. Probably took me about around 3 or 4, and then I was like, nah, just go like. Beach. All right, well, I don't think we're on. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to AFL&T's coverage of the 2023-24 TIO NTFL season from Norbuilt Oval here today on Larrakia Country here in Fred's Pass. We're here for round 11 action of the Men's Premier League competition this afternoon, where the Southern Districts Crocs take on Wanderers Eagles. My name's Sam Clark, and I'm joined here with my commentary partner this afternoon in Ian Butterworth. How are you this afternoon?
Look, I'm well, Sam, and both teams, of course, had good wins last week. Wanderers struggling a little bit. Southern Districts have been high flyers throughout the week, and a little bit of information. Matthew Dennis back in the ruck for Southern Districts, and Michael De Jong, a new player for Southern Districts. We'll see him running around in number 26 jersey, and Simon Bates back for Wanderers. So a stalwart for Wanderers. The game just about to get underway, and it will be Matthew Dennis in ruck. Southern Districts won the toss and actually kicking to the northern end, to the left of the screen as we watch it on the television. And Kane Cox, number 17, will take the ruck work for Wanderers. Ball tossed up by the field umpire, of course. And that was Southern Districts immediately into attack. Kicked the ball forward. Strong mark taken by the big man up forward. And you were interested in having a bit of a look at Jared Brander. This is Jared Brander. We'll see how he goes, Samantha.
Yeah, he's right out in front of us. He's kicked multiple goals in the last 7 games, and last time these two sides met, he's bagged 6. So I would be expecting him to kick another bag today.
Brander, left of centre. We'll have to kick from the paint of 50, I reckon. Very deliberate run up. Brander just steps over the paint of 50, kicks on goal, kicks across the face of goal, and it is a minor score inside the first minute. Southern Districts 1 behind. Wanderers, of course, yet to score.
Absolutely, and I expect Brander will be a key target up forward with his height there and putting his big mitts up.
Wanderers bring the ball back in, defensively favouring the outer. Over the football, nice handball. Back they go. And it is Southern Districts again with the football. Luke Delahaye kicks it forward. Big mark taken. And this time, another tall man. They're full of talls, aren't they? But it's Matthew Dennis who didn't start in the ruck, which is interesting. Matthew Dennis, they've got him positioned up forward together with the other tall man down there in Brander. So Matthew Dennis, let's see if he can do any better. He is directly in front and only 30 metres out.
Yeah, I'd expect the big fella to kick this one, and it doesn't really look like Wanderers have too many tools there to go with these two. So as he is coming in, he's chucked it on the right, and he's just held that one out right to kick a behind. So District second behind in the first 2 minutes here.
So they are 2 behinds, and both probably gettable. Brander's a little bit more difficult, but certainly Dennis should have kicked that ball to be brought back in. Wanderers will run his full distance, steps over the line, sells the dummy, goes to the left-hand side, and that's Braden McLean, experienced defender, but only picks out a Southern Districts player on the far side of the ground. That looks like...
looks like Jed Anderson there.
It does look like Jed Anderson,
I believe it is. So he'll come in on the left on his right side.
And Jed Anderson misses to the near side. So 3 shots on goal. Now I reckon they're officially wasteful. They've had 3 shots on goal, 2 perhaps difficult and 1 pretty easy. The field umpire butting in there. The goal umpire was in terrific position.
I think the boundary umpire blew his whistle for an out on the full. So they're just consulting there on what that call's going to be.
Who wins?
It'll be out on the full there.
Out on the full it is. It's no score. So they're not wasteful yet. It's only 2 behinds. Kick the ball back in. Over the back, Delahaye, been busy already. Roy George goes back by hand. Wanderers, can they clear? They do clear, but they haven't gone forward. Kicks inside, Anderson swings onto the left foot. Left footers, they're just poetry in motion, aren't they, when they kick the football. Across they go to Bowden. Bowden, another left footer. This time goes back. Bowden, we normally see him down back. Waistcoat, up he goes, and it takes the mark to juggle. 1, 2, came off the hand. Waistcoat over his left shoulder, and Stanley Waistcoat, the first goal of the game, 3.5 minutes in, and the Southern Districts finally the major goals.
Yeah, and Waistcoat's an excitement machine for their team. He's come up from the Barclay, playing for the Spitfires. He's played a bit of time in Alice for the Rovers, and I think he's just exciting. He's been selected for the rep team as well, so it's great that District's given him that opportunity up in Darwin in the big league.
So he's a bit of a Barclay boy, is he?
Yeah, he's from down south in the Tennant Creek area in the Barclay region, and he carves up in the baffle down there for the Spitfires.
Well, he's certainly been a good pickup for Southern Districts, as you mentioned. He's a goal kicker, and that's I mean, everyone could always do with a goal kicker.
I think those community boys from down south just bring so much talent and skill around the ground.
My word, they do. And in the ruck, Wyatt Ryan to be the main ruckman. Good player, holding the ball. He took him on, but the field umpire said, give it to me. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. We'll go with the field umpire on that one. Up they go. Ryan, again, in front. No one won the tap. Anderson flips the ball out to Johnston. Johnston swings onto the right boot. Forward he goes. Couldn't take the mark. Bowden. Big Matt Dennis. Series of handballs. Bo Schwartz having a breakout season for him. The local Bo Schwartz rolls it, but unfortunately rolls it to the right-hand side. And Southern Districts, the one goal, but they are 3 behind 9. Wanderers yet to score. All brought back in. Matthew Motlop squares up into the corridor. That's Arbon. Arbon still inside defensive 50. Mark gets the ball out. Nice work. Jackson East. East goes wide again to Jaden Jakira. Jakira outside defensive 50, favouring the outer, kicks it forward. But some good defensive work there by Southern Districts. And Zach Smith, the rangy Zach Smith, knocks the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, and I think Districts are just setting up nicely behind the ball here. Wanderers can't seem to get a break over that nice solid wall from Districts there. So they'll have to just be patient if they're wanting to really break open and get it into their forward half. Ryan
in the ruck. Roy George cleverly inside in the Bowden direction. Bowden, but it's out of bounds, unfortunately, and Wyatt Ryan probably dominating the ruck. So it'll be Ryan v Cox. In the ruck, Matthew Dennis sitting in the goal square. Ryan, the bigger body, works his way to the front. Schwartz gets it out by hand, but pinched. Now they've got it again. Ryan it was this time. Series of handball taken high was Ryan. Play on called the umpire. Will he hit the free kick? No, he took him on. It'll be a fair free kick in the end. Up goes the mark to marking interference. Knocked his arm. And this is Cox, the ruckman for Wanderers, running around. Braden McLean swings onto the non-preferred left. Kicks and kicks accurately. Working the ball forward. Jaden Jakira had a couple of touches, couple of possessions. Ball on the ground. Lurking is Arbon. Series of handballs. Chopped off. Back by hand. Wanderers have control of the ball. Can't afford to make a mistake. McLean's had a couple of good possessions. McLean goes forward. No one can take the mark. Running around. It's good smother. That's always courageous, isn't it, when they smother the ball off the boot. Southern Districts have the footy. Brodie Grace turns it over. This time, Matthew Motlop. Motlop defensively. Mark taken. Marcus Totham has a player inside. Arbon. What's he got on offer? He's got a player down there on offer in Jaden Jakira, who's had plenty of the footy in the first term. Good NTFL footy name, Jakura. Up they go, ball on the ground, in dispute. Kicked off the ground at the shot of goal. Running around and into an open goal. Wonderful, wonderful work there. Michael Mummery has the goal. Kicked 5 last week, his first game back with the Wanderers after a few seasons with Nightcliff. Mummery opens Wanderers' score, so the Muck-Mucks move on to 1 straight, trailing Southern Districts 1-3-9, and we are 9 minutes into Q1.
Yeah, I think that was just good persistence there by Wanderers. They kept looking back in board, and Districts kept trying to cut it off, but they really just pushed forward and sent numbers behind the ball to get it into their forward half there. I think Jakura is one that's standing out at the moment for me. He just seems to be all over the ground. He was in there forward, ready for the hands, and the intercept there by Mark White, just to read that off the Districts players there and just get it quick hands out the back. So
the word you used for Wanderers there was persistence, and I think that got them the goal, didn't it? So if they can maintain that, they will keep in this contest. So we've got Kane Cox on the left. Wyatt Ryan. Cox probably got a fingernail of that. Ball on the ground. The clearance, the all-important clearance. Bowden. The free kick paid. With the big frame of Matthew Johnston. Johnston bangs the ball forward for Southern Districts. Underneath the ball, couldn't take the mark. Matthew Dennis, nice handball out. Handball over the top, Waistcoat, does it beautifully. Stanley Waistcoat gives it to Matthew Dennis, and thank you very much, the quick reply.
Absolutely, and Stanley Waistcoat, so smart in that goal square. He knew he had Matty Dennis all by himself, ready to read off his tap, and he was going to get tackled straight away if he took possession of that footy, and smart enough just to tap it down to the big fella, not making him work too hard and bending over, just straight into the mitts for a quick
It's usually
open
the other
goal.
way around, isn't it, Sam? It's usually the big fella tapping it to the running player, but every time it was the other way around. Certainly Matthew Dennis sitting in the goal square, and Southern Districts, they are very, very keen on the ruck of Wyatt Ryan, and he's since he's moved in there, he's done extremely well. There he is, big number 15. We see him in the centre of the screen. So it's Ryan against Cox. Ryan got the tap to no one in particular. Ball in dispute. Bo Schwarz wraps up his opposite number in Daniel Clee. The umpire says, give it to me. No prior opportunity. Good decision by the field umpire. Ryan up against Cox. Ryan, the big body in front. Wanderers get the clearance. Forward it goes. Tap. Mazzini knocks it forward. Hanging onto the football. He didn't make much of an effort there, but I suppose it was held in. And that was Ethan Maney. An unsung hero here at Southern Districts, I reckon, Ethan Maney. They can play him anywhere. Ryan in front. Gets the tap again. Ball on the ground in dispute. And Schwarz, as I mentioned, a breakout season in my view for him. Got the freedom of playing on the ball, not necessarily all forward. Matthew Dennis didn't take the mark. Ball on the ground. The bigger body knocks his opponent out of the way. Goes out by hand. Does it and does it comfortably. 1 bounce. 2 bounces. Kicks forward, and big Ryan, Jared Brander, gets the football. And it was Taj Stanley who ran the ball on the outer. And pinpoint accuracy. That was laser. That was...
Stanley's a young fella. He's played a few games down in Catherine for the Camels, and he's just an absolute jet. And just to have that composure after a couple of bounces and a shoot off from the half-forward flank, just to lower the eyes and hit up a target there, was just phenomenal work from him.
So it's Brander. Long way out. Big angle. Kicks on goal, and I reckon he's nailed that. They love it. They absolutely love it, and so does the goal umpire. And that's the important one. Brander, he gets his first. Southern Districts, they go to 3-3-21. Wanderers, 1 straight 6.
Yeah, I definitely think that he's got his kicking boots on now. He's got that stinker out the way early, and he's ready.
Got the monster out of the way early.
Yep, I think he just held his space there nicely as well. He kind of read that Taj Stanley was going to just run that ball into their forward line, and he just sort of led him and just held his space beautifully there, ready for a nice mark in their forward, deep in their forward 50.
So Ryan winning the centre bounces. Jed Anderson in there.
I think Matty Dennis is back in the ruck here.
So is Ryan on the bench? Can you have a look, Sam, and see where he is?
can't quite see down that far, but
Oh, of course not. No.
we're
He might be up. I don't know what they do with him.
not
Whether
sure
they
where
rest
he's
him
gone.
up forward.
Oh, he's straight out in front of us, and down in the half forward line.
So
So
he's sort of taken over. They've just swapped he
Yep.
and Matthew Dennis. There he is. There, you're quite right. Couldn't take the mark one-handed. Can't do everything. Running around is Daniel Clee. Had a couple of touches. Gets it out to Jackson East. Prolific ball getter. East, the old 1-2. Gets it back onto the left foot. Does he kick properly? No, it's not the mark taken or the free kick paid there. Knocked the arm. Jordan Cotter. Cotter, rangy defender, right footer. Favours the outer. Now they bring it inside. Zach Smith. Further in. Back to Cotter. Across the face of goal. Got to be precise. Is precise. Southern District's clear. She ran his full measure that time. Onto the left foot. Kicks forward. Mark. Advantage paid. Good advantage call. Ball held in. Matthew Motlop has been busy in defence.
yeah, and I think Districts just switched that ball beautifully, and that Matty Dennis was up for that mark here. And I think if they had just taken that free kick and didn't take that advantage, you'd see a nice shot on goal soon. But nevertheless, we're here in the ruck, and Ryan's taken that tap again with Anderson in there. But Wanderers have come out with it. Well, beautiful smother there by Southern District's number 7, Brandon Rusker. He's looking for a handball as well.
Matthew Motlop copped one there in the midriff. Slunging a sling, and the free kick. The free kick will go to the big man. Normally plays in defence, Matthew Mazzini. Mazzini. Don't normally see him so far forward. Waistcoat over the back, not tall enough. Oh, high tackle in there, missed by the field umpire. And Maney, Ethan Maney, gee, I like the way he plays. He can play anywhere.
Yeah, he was just down in the back, settling it for them a couple minutes ago.
Kane Davidson, I'm sorry. I saw the 0. I thought it was Maney, but it was Davidson. Wanderers to clear. Wanderers certainly in the contest, but it's Southern Districts lead comfortably. Another kick on goal, Southern Districts. This time, across the face of goal once again, and the minor score. Oh, we've got another decision.
So that just came off the boot of Davidson there, and I think Wanderers just surging onto that ball and just trying to really hold it in there. But the boundary umpires called that it hit the post, actually, so we'll get a ball in deep in Southern Districts forward 50.
So left full forward, Southern Districts, of course, deep in attack. Ryan, over the shoulder, good free kick. Just got to calm down a little bit. Their on-field demeanour, Wanderers, a little bit excitable. Now the big man, left of centre, 45-degree angle, will only have to traverse about 25-30. Let's see how good he is up forward.
Let's see if
or whether he should have rested on the pine rather than in the goal square.
Let's see if he's got the package ready. He's been in the ruck, been good on the ground, been good in the air. Can he kick a goal?
Ryan to kick on goal, left of centre. Very, very deliberate and very, very straight. Wyatt Ryan, his first. Southern District's 4th, 4-3-27. Wanderers, 1 straight 6. Only 17 minutes into Q1.
Only, you say. It's looking very warm out there. We're seeing lots of rotations in front of us here with the Wanderers boys. And I think, as you said, I think they just need to settle down a little bit. And they're all going for the ball right now, and they're not really cutting off that outside run of Districts, and they're just sort of leaving them in a bit of space. And so I think Wanderers will look to, really hold that play up for the last 5 minutes or so of this quarter.
An interesting stat for Wanderers, Sam, is that they haven't got a fly-in, all local players, and they're only up for 10 points, 10 out of their allowed 18, and 4 of those go to Michael Mummery, of course, who moved across from Nightcliff. He's a local player, moved clubs, so that's 4 points. So Cox, in ruck, the clearance, Southern Districts, over the back. McLean overruns the football. Tap forward. Good individual effort there that time by Jaden Jakira, who's been good. But Bo Schwartz paid the mark. And Schwartz, gee, they don't muck around, do they? Once you get the clearance, it's almost a goal.
Definitely, and I think it's just that clean play and that link-up of handballs from the middle just to release that runner out the pack there and have a look for a target. And you said Bo Schwartz's name a couple of times. He's been down back, he's been up forward now, and another one selected in the rep
freedom of
side.
the midfield, I reckon that's been the difference with him. The breakout season, in my view, for Bo Schwartz. And you're quite right, he's been down back, he's up forward. Here he is, kicking on goal. He is right of centre, just doesn't quite suit the right footer. Kicks, normally he is very, very good, and this is no exception.
Beautiful work by him, and the crowd here has got a few whistles going on down south of Darwin in Norbuilt Oval. I think we're up here for a bit of a one-sided game. Nevertheless, both coming off a win last week, but particularly Districts got over the reigning premiers and Waratahs last week, so they'll be pumped up off that win.
It's interesting, Michael Baden won the toss and kicked to the end. To the we can't see any flags. So if there's no flags, there's no wind. But certainly that was the end that Baden had no hesitation in kicking to. They've kicked 5 goals, 3-33 Wanderers, 1 straight 6, and we're about to tick into time on in the first quarter. Back in the ruck, Cox up against Dennis. Dennis holds him out. Cox, did he get the clearance? No, he didn't, but Wanderers eventually get the clearance. Mark dropped at centre half back. Head over the football, that's the Simon Bates, his first game for a couple of months. There's Bates again, tried to swing onto his left foot. Gets the ball out, McLean. Tumbling kick forward, good tackle in defence. The defence of Southern Districts has been excellent. They've held Wanderers to the solitary goal.
So free kick's been paid down for Wanderers in their forward half there, so I think it was just a bit of a high off the ball Shepherd going off there, but Wanderers will get a free kick at their forward 50.
Wanderers.
Good old Simon here has let us know that it was actually for abuse there, so
so the old
bit of misdiscipline.
I wonder why that was. Anyway, it's not our problem. Tyson White it is. Now White, gee whiz, he's a long, long way out from goal. Fancies himself.
Why not have a crack when you're inside your forward 50?
Into the breeze. Tyson White, Wanderers, needs to nail this. White kicks it. Got plenty onto it. Got plenty on it. Over the top, the defence. Wanderers in the forward half. On the outside of the boot. And it's a goal. See if you can pick that player up.
Yeah, I can't quite see it from here, but a beautiful kick at the check side from the middle of the pack there. I think Tyson White, they just backed his small forwards in, that they'd crumb that ball beautifully, and they did that exactly for him when he's just gone long and deep into that forward 50.
Just keep your eye on him. He's in the pack. They should be made to do a 360 when they kick the goal.
Some clubs have got their numbers on the front of their Guernseys, which helps us out here, but
that would help, wouldn't it?
He hasn't quite turned around for us. Number 27 there, Jackson East.
Jackson East it was. So it was a good goal, wasn't it?
It was beautiful work.
Goal. Ball in dispute. Grabbed out of the ruck. Johnston goes by hand. Southern Districts. Will they make them pay? Brander pushed out unceremoniously. Waistcoat in front. Ridden into the ground. Play on called the umpire. Correct decision and a rush behind.
I think Waistcoat just played for that free kick
yes,
there. So umpire said, I'm not giving it to you.
A good decision by the field umpire.
I think he could have done something special, but chose not to. And Matthew Motlop takes that kick out.
Matthew Motlop it is. Johnston can't stop the mark from being taken. Well-weighted kick. Arbon goes forward. Picks up McLean. McLean's had plenty of it. Braden McLean, NTFL representative captain the last 2 years and defender. Roy George, one way. Johnston, back to George. George goes inside to Schwarz. Schwarz, what's he got on offer? Gets it back to George. George, long kick forward, and there he is. He missed the last one. He didn't miss this one. So how does he go down in the Barclay? Does he kick plenty of goals? I
believe so. He sits in the forward line doing what he does best and just nitpicks them off there.
And
but
kicks goals.
Just bangs them on.
Not
I think
a bad pastime, is it?
Community footy is a good brand of footy for them down there, and it's fast, it's free-flowing, it's talent. It's everything you could
a
ask
good
for.
side?
Sure does. I believe that they actually won the men's comp. I'd have to check that though, the Spitties.
So Waistcoat, right of centre, kicks on goal, makes the goal umpire do a little bit. The boundary umpire didn't get involved that time. The goal umpire called it and called it correctly. That's the minor score. And the custodian, Matthew Motlop, will get another. We can't count these as possessions, can we? He'll bring the ball back into play. Got to do it and do it well.
Ball's turned straight over there and he's kicked it straight to Mitch Pemberton, who'll have his first shot on goal for the game.
So Mitch Pemberton, normally see him down back, bit of a swing man. Pemberton is pretty much directly in front. Distance not an issue. Man on the mark, 35 metres from goal. Pemberton kicks on goal. Did better than Waistcoat because Pemberton, he split the middle.
Yeah, makes no mistake there, and that is 11 scoring shots now for Southern Districts in this first quarter as we tick into almost 25 minutes played to only the 2 for Wanderers. So the ball spent a lot of time in District's forward half, and I think they're settling down now and batting down the hatches.
Pretty much made the most of it. 6-5's not all that flash. I mean, there were a couple of those perhaps could have been goals, but they're not. So 6-5, 41, 2 straight 12, 25 coming up 25 minutes into the first quarter. So Districts will turn at quarter time, I would suspect, in front. Back in the middle. Kane Cox, the rangy Kane Cox, up against Dennis. Up they go, Dennis, wonderfully, down to Johnston, series of handballs. Out they go. Rusker, his first possession, stabs it forward. No mark taken. Play on called the umpire correctly. Wanderers will clear, that time by hand. Henry White. But the rock-solid defence of Wanderers, of Southern Districts. Matthew Dennis in the way. Ball forward, White, Waistcoat, over the back. The man that's got the job on Waistcoat is Jackson East. He swings around onto the right boot, outside defensive 50, and a finger tipper. Nice mark taken that time by, that's Arbon that's got the ball now. He couldn't quite pick the player up that had it before.
That was Joel Cubillo.
Sorry?
Joel Cubillo just took that beautiful reaching mark.
Forward, that time, Dre Thompson. Thompson looks for and finds a teammate in Paul Forrester. Poor kick off the boot. Good enough, McLean. McLean's been probably the Wanderers' best player. Arbon gets it out by hand. Thompson, back to Thompson. Thompson by hand once again. Have they done it too many? Back to Thompson. Thompson kicks on goal. Dre Thompson deserves a goal. Didn't quite get it.
No, just left it out wide there, but Wanderers there just switched the ball beautifully over to that far side, and we've seen it a couple of times from both sides. So the switch is working today. It's just who's going to work hard enough to make it happen every time.
Terrible kick in. Mazzini gathers somehow. The boundary line. Was it on the full? Might have been. And Nathan, Braden McLean, it's just about kicked his leg off in the first quarter. New role for McLean. We normally used to see him down back, as I mentioned. Be interesting to see where he's selected. If he is selected, there he is again, McLean. Smothered off the boot. Goes to Arbon. McLean to Arbon. Arbon kicked the ball forward and took him on. Dropped the ball red hot.
Yeah, it was
free kick.
Great pressure there by Anderson and Schwartz together. They just stayed calm and really just affected that, causing that turnover.
Across the face of goal. Defensively, they're on top. Big Matty Dennis down there. Didn't give the handball. Cox on the mark. Cox following Dennis. Dennis will kick outside defensive 50, favouring the grandstand side. And a nice mark that time by Kane Davidson. Done some good things. No, the free kick was given, and Matthew Motlop has the free kick. Motlop too far out to score. Siren's gone. Kick goes in. It is quarter time. 6-5, 41 to the home side. Southern Districts. Wanderers 2-1, 13.
So that's quarter time here at Norbuilt Oval in Fred's Pass, and we'll be back with you for the second quarter very soon.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Process. And a bit of constructive talk. I know it's hard, we've been all from the same footy club, but we've come together for this. Show that passion in the MC Guernsey, get in their face.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
Yeah, I can hear now.
Testing 1 2. Testing. I'm 2, you're 1. Testing.
Testing. Yeah.
Here at TIO Stadium in Darwin.
Played their hearts out, and obviously it's not what we play 6-6-6 and 7 on the bench, so it's a little bit different. But you know what, we can't ask for anything more. The girls put their bodies on the line, and they went in and they went hard, and some of it was unrewarded, but that's footy.
You know territory.
All right, welcome back here to round 11 action of the TIO NTFL Men's Premier League 2023-2024 competition here between Wanderers and Southern Districts. We're heading into the second quarter and Districts are currently leading 6 goals 541 to Wanderers 2 goal 113. How have you seen the first quarter, Ian?
Yeah, look, it's interesting. 28-point lead to Districts and 6-5, as you mentioned. Probably missed a couple of easy ones. Wanderers, they've got their head down and their backsides up, and some of the work of Wanderers has been very, very good. They've got no fly-in, so they're all locals, and which is a good sign for Wanderers. They're struggling this season. Had a very good win last week. They actually started off nicely, got behind and came home like a steam train and won against the odds. So terrific effort last week by Wanderers, but they've got to replicate that this week. Second quarter, as you mentioned, Ryan it'll be up against Cox in the ruck. Ryan with his back to us, big number 15, won the tap, got it down to Anderson. Anderson handballed over the top to the left footer in Michael Bowden. Bowden goes forward. I keep wanting to call him Boy George. It's Roy George running off the pack. Kick on goal and a mark. Almost replicates the first quarter, didn't it, when the ball was chipped in, and big Jared Brander. Is that Brander or is that Dennis?
It's Jared Brander, it is.
Brander. Now he's directly in front. Kicked a first quarter goal, did Jared Brander. Now you suggested he'll kick a handful, which is 5, so we'll give him 6.
Absolutely, and hopefully he kicks this one. As you said, it's replicated the first couple of seconds in that first quarter there. He's on a slightly less angle than he was in the first quarter, so as he runs in for goals, he has just kicked that one across the face and hung it out left for his
that should
second
be money
behind.
for old Rope, I reckon, for a key forward.
Definitely.
Or is that being a bit cruel?
Well, I think he's a bit cruel. Everyone has their days.
Oh. 6-6, 42. So they haven't started. Well, they started as they did in the first quarter because Brander missed his first shot on goal. All brought outside. Marking attempt. Not paid. The handball, too easy. Chip forward, barely 15. Play on called the umpire. Anderson had plenty of the football. Goes to the left. Over the back. Nice work defensively done by Petherbridge. Southern Districts have the ball wrapped up. Wrapped in. And that's Jack Palmer. Hands the ball to the field umpire. Districts in their forward line. Dennis over the back in the Schwarz direction. Taken high in the tackle. Play on. Ball comes out. Big Cox kicks on goal. I reckon Cox has nailed this. He's kicked it out of his you-know-what, and he's nailed it on the non-preferred left. So Cox has also got a goal. So that's 7 individual goal scorers for Southern Districts.
I actually believe that might have been Anderson.
It was Anderson.
Out on
the left,
out there, straight out.
Anderson. Yep.
The ball didn't quite travel the 15. The umpires just called him to play on, and he knew where the goals were, and that's his talent and his skill, his experience.
I saw the 17, and it was Anderson and not Cox. So Anderson opens the goal scoring, at least for Southern Districts, and nonetheless he is their 7th goal scorer. They go to 7-6-48, Wanderers 2-1-13. It's all going Districts' way, is it? The home team and their supporters should be happy at this stage.
Yeah, they're not making too much noise here, but I'd expect them to start getting around. With 7 goal scorers is impressive for a first quarter and a bit of this game, and we'll see a...
We've got a 6-6-6 infringement. Big Ryan gets the ball out in the Bowden direction. Bowden playing in the midfield. As I said, unusual to see him there. Out wide. Districts into the corridor. This time Anderson once again. He is like pepper and salt. He's in everything.
Yeah, he just needed a warm-up quarter by the looks of it, and he's turned it on the first 3 or 4 minutes here that we've got. So he'll have a shot on goal. Tight angle for a left footer, but I would back him to kick this, I think.
Ooh, big call. Yep. 7 individual goal scorers.
I'll give him the commentator's curse, potentially.
Or will it be 7-7-49? Anderson kicks on goal. It is not. It is 8-6-54. Southern Districts. Wanderers 2-1-13. Looks ominous, doesn't it?
It sure does, and it's nice to see some of the ex-AFL players running around here. I know that you mentioned a couple in the Wanderers side and Anderson out there today as well, and it's great that they can come back here and really lift the standard of our NTFL Men's Premier League competition too. And I know Jed spent some time coming in down to Catherine, and at training just lifts the standard and the intensity at training as well. So it's great for them to give back to their communities.
He seems to have a bit of a Catherine connection. What's the connection, do you know?
Oh, it goes deep. Everyone's connected to Catherine, I feel.
Oh, the old K-Town trip, is it?
You end up in Catherine and you never leave, and part of you stays there, I think. And it was great. We had Genomi down there a few years ago as well, and the whole Anderson crew. So they're a great family too.
Ryan won the tap. Goes out back to Petherbridge. Gets it out to Johnston. I like the way he plays. I've probably mentioned that. Handball out this time to Palmer. Had a bit of it. The ball will go back. Wanderers to go forward. Unmarked. Not a terribly good kick in. Kick to a contest. Hanging on. Which way will it go? It'll go to Tottenham. Jordan Cotter. Tottenham has it. Outside forward 50. Goes forward. And a nice mark to Mummery. As I said, kicked 5 last week. Got the bookends. One in within 15 seconds and one after the siren at the end of the game. And got 3 in between. So Michael Mummery.
He's on a tight angle here, right on that boundary line.
So Meaney on the mark, isn't he? And he's right on the boundary line. You're quite right. So the most acute of angles, he is a right footer.
Looks like he's going to go a drop punt here too, so. Goes the check side.
Oh, it's a wonderful
That's
kick.
a great goal.
How good was that? Missed. Or was it a goal? No, it's a goal.
I think it was a goal.
Yep, it was a goal. So he's got 2 goals. Wanderers have 3. That's the magic of the man.
That is, and if it's a check side if you're from Adelaide, or it's a banana from everywhere else in the country.
It doesn't matter. It's a 6-pointer anywhere.
It's a beautiful goal, and hopefully that lifts their spirits a little bit early in this second quarter. So it's a good quick reply to District's first couple of goals there, just to steady the flow too.
So multiple goal scorers so far, and we're only 6 minutes into the second term. Michael Mummery has 2, as has Jed Anderson. Jed Anderson's got his 2 in the second term. Mummery got 1 in the first and 1 in the second. Back in the middle. Ball worked out. Wanderers have the... Oh, almost. Pick your head up later is Wyatt Ryan. Ryan got the tap. Gets it out wide. That looks like it is Stanley Waistcoat once again. Waistcoat looking for options. Goes into the corridor. Over the head. Picked up Districts. Held into him. The field umpire should say, give it to me, gentlemen. And he does. And the man that hands the ball over was Brodie Grace. But the ball is where Southern Districts want it, the home side.
Yeah, right at the top of that 50 there, and it's they've got some good tools there, and Waistcoat just popped it on top of there, a bit too high, but...
Kick on goal, across the face, Waistcoat, sitting, waiting. That was a dangerous spot. That was courageous by Stanley Waistcoat, because he had the elephants charging at him that time, but the ball is out of bounds, right half forward. Southern Districts still in attack.
Yeah, beautiful defensive work here by Wanderers, just to contest everything and really make Districts work. And they haven't had a good shot on goal in the last 4 or 5 minutes, and a clean mark inside their forward 50.
It's just been the brilliance of Anderson so far. Pushed out, Matthew Dennis. Pushed his opponent out in the ruck, Johnston. Matthew Johnston runs after the footy. Further around, they've pushed it around, and it's out of bounds on the full, methinks. And it'll be Matthew Johnston. So defensively, it's a bit tough, wasn't it? But nonetheless, it's there. Johnston kicks on goal, kicks across the face of goal. And the mark taken by big Jared Brander. I shouldn't say big Jared Brander because it's quite obvious that he is big. I reckon he's 195 if he's a centimetre.
That was a nice low mark by him too, though. So he can do it in the air, can do it on the ground. Can he kick this goal?
He's missed a couple. Brander kicks on goal this time. This is within his range, within his distance. Accuracy is there. So Brander now has 2. He becomes a multiple together with Anderson and Mummery. Brander, 1 in the first, 1 in the second.
And a couple of behinds to his name so far, but yep. I'd hope to see that bag of 6 at least this game. And I think they've got a lot of tools districts in their forward line, and they're really standing tall, but it's their midfield work rate that's really pushing it and locking it inside their forward 50. And the ball, every time the ball's gone in, Wanderers, half to their credit, they've made an impact on the scoreboard there. So
yeah, you're right. They haven't had much, have they? But what they've had has been efficiently finished. So Wyatt Ryan, number 15. We see him to the right on our screen. The whistle's blown. We've got a 666 infringement. What's going on?
I think the umpire's just talking to the Wanderers bench here at the moment, so I don't think...
Someone coming off. Is it a blood rule?
The umpires haven't signalled it, but somebody's coming off here for Wanderers, and they're sending number 11, Dre Thompson, on, so I would say so.
There'd be no other reason. Just keep an eye on him. If they get the sewing machine out to stitch an eye or whatever, a knee. Back in the middle, back in the action. Cox probably had as much of that as did Wyatt. But running forward, it is Davidson. Kane Davidson. Big Thompson. Big Dennis. Free kick. No free kick.
Yeah, I think the Wanderers player here just came off. He's just got a bit of a cut on his knee there, so they've called that blood rule there.
We'll put a Band-Aid on it.
He's got his foot up on the bench at the moment.
Matthew Dennis wins the tap. They're arguing for a deliberate out of bounds, but the boundary umpire, well, the field umpire has overruled that, and the boundary umpire has the work to do. So right half forward, Southern Districts in attack. Tossed in, nice one by the boundary umpire. Over the back, Dennis knocks it over his head. Goes forward, Ryan has Cox to beat. Cox did well there. One-on-one contest, and the ball is out of bounds. But defensively, Wanderers won that. And they've moved it probably just outside defensive 50. Southern Districts still in attack. Right half forward between wing and half forward. Grandstand side. Petherbridge gets it out wide. Does it nicely to Jordan Cotter. Touched off the boot. The boundary umpire has some more work to do.
Yeah, there's a nice smother off the boot there, and I don't think anyone's really got control of this game in the last 5-6 minutes, and it could go either way. I'd love to see Wanderers break it open with a nice run out of here. They've made some ground up the wing as they've got these contests going. So
Ryan almost won the tap. I think Kane Davidson's been very good in and under for Southern Districts. Ball in dispute. Dre Thompson. Second, third effort, kicks the ball to his own advantage. Fourth effort, another kick off the ground. Kicks it this time, probably loses possession, but he's been terrific. Very good. Matthew Johnston gets it wide, wasn't taken high. Southern Districts in now. Anderson onto the preferred left boot. Where's it going to go? Looking out there for Bowden, another left footer. Bowden handballs to his own advantage. Grab, good free kick. Play on called the umpire, and correctly he was committed to the tackle. And one of his few possessions, Simon Bates, gets it inside nicely by hand. Inside the corridor, over the bat, and a lovely mark taken, Jordan Cotter. Called him a few times, Cotter goes forward. Not the best of kicks, but he stretched well, Matthew Johnston. Johnston gets it out wide. And the mark taken defensively by Jakura, Jaden Jakura. Goes to Mark White. Wanderers, clear with gusto. Out wide, over the back, Zach Smith.
The umpires have just paid an in-the-back free kick there. I believe Smith will take that one.
Yeah, crudely dealt with, I thought. Now, this is where Wanderers have got to be a bit careful, because they're moving the ball beautifully by hand. That time under pressure, but the free kick was paid. Once again, the lack of discipline, Wanderers. The defence is working overtime. Cox over the football. Does a lot of work. Lovely work by hand. Will he go inside? They do go inside, but over the top. Wonderful mark, Cotter. Cotter goes forward. He goes to Schwarz. Schwarz kicks on goal. No, he doesn't. He prefers to go to Brander, and Brander takes the mark. So he's got a couple, can get 3.
Yeah, Wanderers just worked so hard to get that ball forward, and they were outnumbering Districts into their forward line, and that free kick just cost them this mark down deep
but
into
it was a
District's
disciplined
forward
free
line.
kick, wasn't it? Or a lack of disciplined free kick.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary.
It's their own doing, but Brander will kick here on a bit of an angle from about 30 out, I reckon.
Will kick from 30, you're quite right. Right of centre, so it doesn't necessarily suit the right footer. Loves him directly in front, Brander. Kicks it. It was a shocker. Absolute painter and docker off the boot, but did enough.
It's gone through.
How did that go through? He now has 3.
Just watched the flight of that ball come off his boot and just spin away right to the left-hand side, and looked like it went across the face, but it went through for a goal.
They all count, don't they? They're all worth 6 points, no matter what happens off the boot.
Definitely. And I think you mentioned Jordan Cotter there, and he's just sitting himself off the half-back and just reading that footy beautifully and just waiting. He's not taking the game on as such. He's just sitting there in that hole, just waiting for those quick kicks from Wanderers that are coming out and taking those marks and really looking to make the right decision as Districts trying to get it into their forward line. So he's been quite integral back there, the number 29 for Districts.
Ryan. It is, and he'll be up against White. Ryan, too tall. Broken free. The clearance goes to Bowden. Bowden onto the left foot. Brander. Got his work cut out. Got a chase. Running around Matthew Motlop. Been good in defence. He's giving away plenty of centimetres down there if he's playing permanently on Brander. But doing a good job. Good tackle. Not in the back. Play on called the umpire. Kick off the ground. It's allowed. It's not soccer. The defence now of Southern Districts. And there's our man once again, Jordan Cotter. Just sits in the hole, just waits for it and does it nicely.
Just knew he had to go there with Wanderers flooding, heading into that flood into their forward line there, and just knew he had to go and slow that play down. So looks like Jaden Jerakura has got some issues with his shoulders. He's just come off the field there and gone into the change room. So we'll keep an eye on him.
Into the change room, did he? Goodness. Tossed in front. Matthew Johnston. How good a player is he? He's fantastic. Johnston goes forward. Over the back, Anderson seems to be playing a role in the forward line. Wanderers got some work to do offensively. Matthew Motlop. Give it to me, he says, and they do, and Motlop kicks it. Looking for Arbon. Arbon can't take the mark. Second effort, very, very good. And Wanderers will clear, but only as far as Mackenzie Slee, one of his few possessions in the corridor in the middle of the ground. Slee gets it out wide. Zach Smith playing down back. Fair bump on the kick, on the contest. Schwarz sold the dummy, but had no one to sell the dummy to, but nonetheless he did. And it goes forward. Brander too far out to score. Comes a long way from goal. Has he got a 50-metre... What's going on? They've got a 50-metre penalty.
I think the ball just got kicked in short here and a mark was taken
by Brodie Grace.
So Districts just moved the ball there so composed and so smooth out of their back half back there. So Wanderers just couldn't quite keep up.
No, we see Braden McLean and Matthew Motlop down there. They've been working overtime. Grace kicks on goal. Not very good. Misses to the left-hand side, a minor score. And Southern Districts go on to 10-7.
Yeah, Motlop definitely really key down there. He was competing against Brander, then competing against Anderson, and huge players down there for Southern Districts. He's really just contesting everything and making himself heard down there.
Wanderers bring the ball back in. Goes to Slee. Big Dennis over the football. Fell over his own bootlace. Across the face of goal by Anderson. Anderson picks up another player and they've got it. No, looks like it might be a minor score. It is another minor score. Misses to the left-hand side.
Just peppering these goals. I'd like to see some composure here from Districts and really link up that handball into their forward line and have a nice clean shot on goal. But great defensive work by Wanderers.
10-8-68 plays 3-1-19, coming up to 19 minutes into Q2. Wanderers bangs the ball outside defensive 50. Big men fly up. Nice effort there by Davis White, but loses the football, and Slee too far out for him to score, I reckon. Changes his mind. Defensively, held up Wanderers. Good work. Over the back. Nice work, Zach Smith. They just don't give up. Into the middle of the ground. Out wide, and there's our man once again, Jordan Cotter. Cotter goes inside to Palmer. What's he got? Goes to a leading player there. Pushed out by Matthew Motlop. Anderson over his shoulder, and I reckon Anderson's kicked that. Jed Anderson, he has 3, all in this second term.
Yeah, 3 beautiful goals off the deck, just smacking them on the left boot and making Wanderers pay for just giving him an inch, and he'll take that mile every time.
Inches and miles, what are they?
Who knows? In the metric system now, so
we don't have centimetres and kilometres here. But he is. He's just class, isn't he?
He's all class, and just to finish those 3 in this quarter alone has just really lifted Southern Districts as well.
Ryan White, untouchable in the ruck. Wyatt Ryan. Ryan Wyatt. Wyatt Ryan. Ryan up against Cox.
Yeah, I think the big men are playing a huge impact for Districts today, really clunking those marks around the ground.
Up they go. No one got the tap. Going to be a free kick paid here. They reckon Ryan might have shepherded Cox out. Can't disagree. Ball forward. Play on, called the umpire this time. Over the back. Gee, they were those half-backs, Palmer, Cotter, Davidson, they've all done very well, haven't they, for Southern Districts when it gets down there. Johnston, number 6, we see him. Matthew Johnston. Always ready to pounce in the midfield. Ryan gets it out by hand in the George direction. Over the football, and they'll get the clearance. Rusker goes by hand. Waistcoat. Waistcoat saw someone on the lead. He saw Cotter on the lead. Cotter can't take the mark. On his is Petherbridge. Petherbridge has done well. Rusker takes the mark. Now Brandon Rusker on a pretty acute angle left of centre. He is a right footer. Distance, it'll worry him. Can he become the 8th goal kicker? Rusker, Brandon Rusker, left of centre. Very acute. They play around the edge, don't they, Southern Districts? Always angle, angle, angle. Rusker kicks on goal. Gotta be good. Gotta be good. Not really all that flash. And a minor score. 11-9-75. Wanderers 3-1-19. 22 minutes into Q2.
Yeah, he just clipped the post there as it's gone through. So he had the distance, but the post got in the way.
Should be 9 points. Motlop kicks it in the Cox direction. Cox doesn't let him down. Outside defensive 50. Good defensive kick. It's where they've got to go. On the outer. Cox, what's he got? Not much. Kicks more in hope than anything else, and it was picked off by that defensive back line. Back into Bowden. Bowden. Across the face. No mark taken. Off hands. Running hard. Delahaye. I keep calling Delahaye Delaney. He's not Delaney. He's Delahaye. Johnson bends over the football. Don't get him mixed up. Too strong. Picks the ball up. Brander. Very strong again. Mark dropped that time in the forward line. The boundary umpire might have had a bit of a win here.
Boundary umpire said, nope, that went out. Give it to me.
So the boundary umpire did win, but it's the right end of the ground for Southern Districts. Right forward pocket. What can they conjure up here? Boundary umpire tosses it in front. Ryan Schwarz runs through. Handballs to no one in particular. Second effort by Schwarz was good. Totham couldn't find the handle. Southern Districts, they can find the handle. Inside, no one in particular. Running around, handball across. Give it to Anderson. He can kick a goal. There he is, there he is. But he goes back by hand this time to Maney. Maney kicks on goal and Waistcoat can't take the mark. Ball on the ground, in dispute. Defensive handball, and he ran the ball over the line defensively. A rush behind. You know, Rush has never kicked a goal in his life.
No.
Only ever gets behinds. Runs his full measure. Gets the outside defensive 50. Fingertipper taken by White. Henry White. No mark taken. Big Dennis centres the ball. Looking for and finding. Is it Wyatt or Brander down there? It might be.
That looks like Ryan down
Ryan
there.
down there. Yep, it is Ryan.
So the big men just linking up to get it back inside. District's forward 50 and a shot on goal by Ryan here.
So Wyatt, Ryan. Right of centre. Has a goal. Ryan. Like his kicking style. Love his kicking style. Trouble is, he kicked across the face of goal. And Jennifer Winsome Rowe, the goal umpire, says, that's mine. And it's a minor score.
District's just peppering these goals the last 5-10 minutes and well into overtime here, so I can't imagine there'll be much left of this quarter. So 11 goals, 10-76 to Districts and 3 goals, 1-19 to Wanderers.
Wanderers clear the football. They favour the outer, over the top, can't find the handle. Henry White and sees the ball out of bounds. About midway, isn't it? About midway, probably slightly favouring Southern Districts, but only by the proverbial inch or two.
Absolutely.
Tossed in by the boundary umpire. Dennis works his way to the front. Schwartz, Amini, dragged off the football. Was okay, he was over the ball. Kicked off the ground, Wanderers worked their way forward. No one in particular, always arguing, deliberate. But it's not. And the boundary umpire says, my ball.
I don't think the players will ever sway the umpires in the lovely game of AFL
Once
footy.
the decision's made, you're quite right. Once the decision's
They'll always try, though.
Yeah,
Why not?
Even if they're wrong. I'm not saying that was wrong. That was probably correct. Dennis tried to take the football. Was he taken high in the contest? Probably was. Doesn't say much, just plays football. Matthew Dennis runs around the man on the mark. They go. No mark taking the forward line. Waistcoat, as ever, kicks on goal, stabs at it, looking for Brander. Ball in dispute. Second effort, Roy George. Did he swing it around? He didn't. But look at the scoreboard, 11-11-77. I love a bit of symmetry. It's a nice piece of symmetry as we approach 27 minutes into the second term. Wanderers languishing, 3-1-19.
Yeah, they're looking tired out there. They're looking ready for that halftime break.
So Wanderers, Districts have kicked 5 goals, 6. So they've been extremely wasteful in this second term.
The opposing symmetry of 6 goals, 5 in the first quarter too.
Correct, yes, so a bit of symmetry there. Love it. Ball on the ground, in dispute. Out it comes. Series of handball. Petherbridge kicks on goal. Whacked unceremoniously. Thought that was in the contest, but his teammates didn't think so.
Yeah, so the umpires have paid a downfield free kick for that hit.
Out he goes and does a backwards roll. Kane Davidson. So we'll have a shot on goal after the siren. Ball still in play.
Who gets to take this downfield free kick and a shot after the siren?
I think it might be Roy George. But there's a plethora of players. He's not going to take the kick. Maybe he was too far out and said, no, I don't want to take the kick, because he definitely did pay the free kick down the field.
Unless he took it before us.
And there we go. It is half time. Southern Districts lead 11-11-77. Wanderers 3-1-19.
So we'll be back here with you for round 11 action for the second half of Southern Districts versus Wanderers after this short break.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday.
You know Territorians go a long way for one another. So it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling expenses. And that goes a long way when you're away.
Get a quote today.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
Looking for a fun day out with your family or friends? Head on over to Palmerston Mini Golf. With our beautifully landscaped course suitable for all ages, you'll have a blast playing mini golf here at Palmerston. We offer the perfect setting for kids' birthday parties, complete with special packages to make their day unforgettable. And if you're looking to have some fun with your mates, we have you covered too. Play during the day or under lights. We're open until 10 p.m.
And we'll see you around Palmerston Mini Golf.
Find us at the Palmerston Golf and Country Club.
So we're here on a Friday night for our NAB AFL Auskick, where we run a girls only option and the kids are pumped, ready to rock and roll and have some fun with the footy.
We signed our daughter up for Auskick because her big brother did Auskick last year and she just loves it. I thought signing her up for a girls only group would be a great chance for her to kind of be with some friends in a comfortable environment.
The thing about a girls only team that I think Zoe really enjoys is that she gets to run around with like-minded girls. They get distracted, they do cartwheels, they hold hands, they sing. It just makes it a bit more of a fun experience.
I like Auskick because I get to play with my sister. We love Auskick!
A number of parents have asked if their daughter has to be in your girls group, and they don't. There will be some girls that will naturally just gravitate to brothers or cousins and join the boys group and have just as much fun if it were to be single sex. So yeah, there's definitely options there every Friday night.
My girls just love interacting with the other girls here. They love kicking a footy, they love learning the skills, and they love the hot dog at the end. I love joining in with my girls. I actually can't help myself, and I love to see the skills not only of my kids but of the other kids in their girls only group really developing over the clinic.
Evie just loves playing the games, learning new things. She'll be doing it then for the rest of the weekend, doing her favourite kicks, telling us how many goals she kicked on Friday night.
The best thing about Auskick is that it's really fun. It's lots of fun for them.
Yeah!
And it's Paish in the ruck, and he'll be up against Big Johnson. Up they go. Johnson won it quite comfortably down in favour. Who gets the clearance? Wanderers get the clearance. Do it beautifully. Over the back. Nice spoil in defence. But they're swinging the ball around. It should be a goal. Mummery with his first kick back with Wanderers. And it was 17 seconds into the game. Michael Mummery, a goal. There you go. Can the mark be taken? Mark can't be taken at least by Palmerston. Mulholland, once again, gets it out. Paholke.
There it is.
Got one. Well done to him. And Gabriel Mulholland was very, very good there. Wanderers. The Muck-Mucks go inside. They try to straighten up. Defence was strong. Motlop over to Mummery. Mummery sells the dummy. Sells another one. Kicks across his left shoulder. And I reckon he's got his third. Michael Mummery, this is your game. Welcome back to the Muck-Mucks. Because Ashton Hams has certainly been their best, had plenty of possession, but Mulholland has the footy, has a chance, runs into an open goal and nails it. Well done to him, 43 seconds in. The 150 gamer in pursuit.
Oh.
Kicked off the ground, goal.
I reckon that was a goal-whopping tackle, but that is a huge goal for the Wanderers now.
Ben Agnew. Agnew bangs it inside his forward 50. Over the back. Goal, open goal. Surely to goodness. No, it was touched. And when he kicked it, the Magpie player is confident, but the goal umpire actually had the ball touched. But
changed to a goal.
Advance. Wanderers working overtime. Sells a dummy, runs around, kicks around his body, and he nailed it.
Oh, well, now it's only a 10-point game, Ian. How about that?
Agnew. Can't see what's happening. Ball in dispute. Here they go. Davey, Waylon Davey. This is bread and butter for him. This is old money for old Jan.
He loves it, Ian. He loves it.
Well, so he should, but he's got to get more. Ashton Hams. Hams, forward. Ball on the ground. In dispute. Paholke there. Someone's got to show a bit of courage. Ball up there. Dragged out. And
that's Davey again. It's Davey, Waylon Davey again. He has been the spark, the energy, whatever you can call him, Ian. He has been exceptional this last term.
Thorne, been good. Shane Thorne roosts it forward. Mark not taken. Ball on the ground. Ball in dispute. Running into an open goal, and Wanderers back in front.
Does not miss those. Does not miss those.
As a ruckman should do in defence. Running around wide and hard and strong. Such Taylor. But they've got to get it out
there
wider.
It is. That's a goal, and we're trying to figure out who that is, but it's a quick goal. Wanderers.
Nice kick forward. In dispute. Oh, cleverly done. So clever.
Well done.
Marcus Totham, the skipper. Is that the match-winning goal by the skipper?
Puts it through, no worries at all. It's an 18-point win. It's Wanderers' second win of the season. Magpies 9-8-62. Wanderers 11-14-80.
Top to Coleman, dummies one way, then kicks inside forward 50, cutting across the front was Armat Watkins. It comes into the hands of Phoenix Spicer. He swings around on the right beat. It's going to bounce in the goal square. It keeps bouncing. There's a diving attempt on the goal line, but I don't think a hand has been laid on it, and it's bounced all the way through for a goal to Phoenix Spicer. Darwin at ground level, scrambling hard, Grant, but it's picked up down there by Brett. Brett swings on the left foot. He's got a player all out in space by himself, and that's Steele. He runs off now and kicks on the outside of the boot. I don't know how he got himself in so much space out the back, Gray, but there as it spills to ground level, and eventually there's a long kick inside forward 50. Bit of a use of the body there as it comes to ground level now, running into the open goal, and it's a point goal as eventually they worked it all the way forward, and Lockie O'Brien got on the end of it and out of position, couldn't take the mark, but he's first to recover, swings a hand pass back in board. It comes out the back to Partington. Partington kicks long towards goal, looks good, it's gone all the way through, and that's a good finish. And down juggled attempt at mark, but the hand pass comes back inboard. Ryan kicks long into space over the back. There's a player out there all by himself. Once again, it's Lockie O'Brien who, there's a couple of times they've had a player out the back, no one near them, and they've moved the ball in quickly. Warwick Williams for Pint pounces on that one, kicks the ball long inside forward 50. Pint players in space again as the kick comes in towards goal. They've got one out the back again, and it's Ryan, and this time Matt Ryan was in the goal square out the back, and the kick came to him, and another walk-in goal for Pint. A one-on-one contest. Campbell's in trouble here. He punches the ball away. Matt Ryan at ground level picks up hand passes outboard. Steele on the left foot swings it back towards goal, and that's a terrific finish there. They work it through the middle of the ground now, and the ball comes out wide, and the mark's taken by Brett, who didn't have to change stride as he took the mark. Kicks over the top. I think it's gone all the way as Moroney tried to dive at it, trying to get a hand to it, but it got over him. Comes in to give assistance, chips a kick around the corner to Bolch, who juggles it but couldn't take the mark, and that's opened the door for Pint again with a long shot at goal, and it's Benjamin Brett once again who got on the end of that, and another terrific finish from Benjamin Brett, and can't do so. Running in there was Hill. Eventually Yaron got it forward to Jared Stokes. He hand passes out wide to Stafford. Surely this is a goal for Darwin as Stafford kicks towards goal. I think he's got his first for the night. Inboard to Jared Stokes goes long, straight down the middle of the ground from the marking contest. The ball at ground level, hand pass comes out. Ahmat Watkins with a snapshot towards goal. It's bouncing in the goal square. It's going all the way through. And that woke us up, Gray, after about 5 minutes of not much action.
And he has indeed.
Yeah. And he celebrates, and so a pretty comprehensive win by Pint in the end. Just over 4 goals, and yeah, they've come here, got the job done.
Yes, it's all one-on-one stuff at this stage. Islet's had a snap, Stewie, and I think he might have got it.
I think he has. He likes it, and the goal umpire had to make a bit of ground, but got it through. So, and now swings around inboard, kicks long down towards full forward off. Beautifully read off hands by Offermans, and he runs into the open goal and bangs it straight through for St Mary's second. He fishes it out to Seth Harris, who kicks long towards half forward. Saints running through there. Klusky this time chips the ball towards the goal. It's going all the way through. I say chips it. He chips it about 45 metres and it sails through easily. So he's a powerful kick. He can give Nycliffe the chance to rebound, and they've got all the players out the back here as it comes in. Running onto it down here. Emery, it's just gone too far for him, and Ben Brown's come in. He tapped it towards the boundary line, but weight of numbers is going to tell here as the hand pass comes from Butcher to Kennedy. Kennedy swings around. Singh Lippo's in the goal square saying I'm free, but Kennedy knows where the goals are and he's banged that one through. Ted Castle going to be first to the ball. Weaves one way, back the other now. Drills the centering ball. That's a great kick into the hands of Paredes, and now he just waltzes forward. Oh, he's almost run into the player in front of him, but I think he's finished with a goal. But that was a fantastic centering kick from both Ted Castle, inside by Edwards. He swings in around. He's got Butcher in the goal square. It's wobbling towards him, and Butcher takes the mark. He's running around now and gets a hand pass over the top, and Cooper Darms right on the goal line this time. He looks up to a pretty packed Nycliffe forward line. He kicks long now in the Butcher direction, but only got one hand to it as ball spills out now. Singh Lippo just weaves a bit of magic, hooks the ball back. It's going to be close. I think it's going to go through. That's a fantastic finish from Tristan Singh Lippo, and something special out of what we said was a pretty scrambly opening to this third quarter, but he takes a good mark. He chips inboard, but that's going to be chopped off by Dylan Lant, who runs through half forward now, chips the ball over the top, finds Vallejo. He hands it off to Jack Lant, strolling through the corridor. He kicks long towards goal from about 25 metres out, puts it straight through, no problem whatsoever. So we're underway again. The ball's hacked off the ground in the middle, out wide. Darms tries to kick it off the ground, then picks it up himself, runs towards goal, kicks long towards goal. That's a terrific finish from Cooper Darms, straight through the middle, and he's got Nycliffe one back, and one that they really needed after a couple of quick ones from Saints.
Dylan Lant in his remaining minutes.
So Morris from the ruck contest kicks that straight out towards the boundary line. Scott runs onto it now, and he's off and running with a bounce back inboard. He's got players running forward. One of those is Emery, and Emery takes the mark, and he's inside forward 50 now. Has a bounce as he gallops towards goal. Has a second bounce as the defenders close in, but he's made it all the way and kicked it from a couple of metres out, and you would have to think, Gray, that that'll be the sealer in this game.
A couple of hands on heads. And there it is. It's all over here at TIO Stadium. Nycliffe have beaten St Mary's, ended a 7-game winning streak from the Saints. Nycliffe have kicked 11-9-75 and beaten St Mary's 8-10-58 in a very good game of football, though.
could get the 50 metre, but in the meantime he played on. He goes around the mark again, got himself into all sorts of trouble. Shagged off the boot. And Brenda pops the first one in. It's been an outstanding find for the Crocs this year. He's kicked a few goals for him early. Garner knocks it forward. Kirby's looking for...
For the second half of this round 11 game in the 2023-2024 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League competition between Wanderers and Southern Districts. We just had a score update. 1 point was just missing there. So Districts currently leading 11 goals, 12 behind 78 to Wanderers, 3 goals, 1 behind 19. And Ian, how have you seen the first half?
Well, it's all been Southern Districts, of course. I mean, it's a 59-point lead to the Crocs, the home side. 5 goals, 7 Districts kicked in that second term, and they could have really put the game away. Unfortunately, Wanderers just can't seem to find an avenue to goal. 3-1-19. It has been all Districts. They've won the ruck, I reckon, and their midfield, Matthew Johnson, their half-back line, Kane Davidson, Jordan Cotter, Jack Palmer, have been terrific down there. Jed Anderson's just been sensational. Been playing in the midfield, been up forward, kicked 3 goals in that second term. It was a real shining light, particularly in terms of his accuracy. As I mentioned, 5 goals, 7 Southern District kicked in that second term. Coach killers, aren't they? I mean, 5 goals, 7, that's a shocker.
Definitely, and I'd hope that they put the foot down here and really, I'm sure that they got a bit of a spray at half-time from all those behinds, maybe some goal-kicking training at goal-kicking practice at training this week. But the Wanderers coach in Aaron Motlop was quite animated at half-time, just trying to pump the boys up. They looked a bit flat heading into there, so hopefully they don't drop their heads completely and Districts have a competitive second half ahead of them.
Wanderers will never, ever be accused of dropping their heads. They'll always have a crack. They mightn't be quite good enough, but they'll certainly all go out there, put their heads down and their backsides up. So that's one thing that Wanderers, they are a foundation club in this competition, and you can never accuse them of laying down. And certainly Aaron Motlop, he was animated, as you suggested. A few home truths doesn't hurt anyone at any time.
Yeah, and I think Matthew Motlop down back's been really important for them in that first half. Hopefully they feed off him.
Yeah, Motlop, Braden McLean down there, they'd be really struggling if it weren't for that pair. Once again, in the ruck, it was Wyatt Ryan who got the tap. But Wanderers, will they get the clearance? No, they won't. Southern Districts will get the clearance. And a clearance it is, centre half forward, big Matthew Dennis, not playing too much in the ruck. Don't know whether it's an injury or whether they've just thought that Ryan was a better option. Marcus Totham kicks it out wide in the Nathan Arbon direction. Arbon had a pretty good first quarter, but was unsighted pretty much in that second term.
Yeah, I think Jackson East the same. I'd hope he pops up again to support that back line, for Wanderers down there. But we'll see the midfield really spike up here, and with the boundary throw in already, it's not started the way the last 2 quarters did, so great pressure from Wanderers to kick us off.
Tossed in by the boundary umpire. Southern Districts in attack, picked up out of the ruck. Michael Bowden lurking. Handball goes out wide once again. They're favouring the boundary line. That time your man Jackson East kicks it outside defensive 50. But the half-back line of Southern Districts has just ruled supreme. Mazzini, Johnston, running hard. Mazzini kicks forward in the direction. Mark not taken. Overtime once again by it's Torsion Wright. Handball away, back inside. They have to kick it off the ground. He does kick it off the ground. Mark dropped. It was a crucial mark dropped. Swings onto the left foot and misses to the near side.
Looked like Bowden had a bit of grippo on there, and he just clucked that ball out of the air.
Didn't he? Yes, he did. Grippo. Braden McLean spears one forward, does it nicely. Then runs on. Clee, outside defensive 50, back into the corridor. Clee Wanderers are ruling. Henry White.
He's just got nothing ahead of him at the moment, and he's calling his players and his troops over there.
There they go, but you're quite right. There's not much on offer. Brandon Rusker hasn't had much of what he's done. Got a free kick out of that. Grabbed his leg. And Rusker at half-back. So they've almost been impassable. I suppose 3-1 kicked against them tells the tale, doesn't it? Ruckman takes the mark. Waistcoat, courageous, surrounded by 3 players. Goes forward to Brander, and Brander takes the mark. Was hung on to, got the free kick in the first instance, so he's paid the free kick. Not the mark, not that it matters. He's directly in front. Man on the mark, 35 metres from goal.
Yeah, how's the confidence of waistcoat there? Sorry, he's just...
It was courageous, wasn't it? He was surrounded by 3.
Three of them swarming.
Up on the ball. Well done.
Swarming in, and he just barged straight through all 3 and said, I'm going to hit my big man up in...
Now, Brander, you said before the game, will kick 6. He probably should have kicked 6 already, but he's only got 3. Directly in front. Can kick him from here. It's on the angle that he struggles. Brander, directly in front. Kicks on goal, and this time the goal umpire says goal.
Says have a goal here this time. You kick off your 3rd quarter nicely, Brander, and
so he's had a shot on goal in the 1st quarter, a shot on goal in the 2nd quarter, missed them both. This time directly in front, nailed it.
Just needs to take his time, and he was ready then. Waistcoat just hit him up then. So Wanderers there, they just went for that switch and it worked for him until Henry White got that ball on the wing and he was calling all his troops across and Districts just swarmed into that space. And I think lucky for them, they got that free kick and were able to just take it back pretty swiftly into their forward line. But the hard work of Wanderers just then really showed that they're putting their foot in as well.
And that's what I mentioned earlier. They will should never be accused of laying down. They'll always have a crack, but it's just a lack of skill. Perhaps and a little bit of height too, because certainly Southern Districts are much taller throughout each of the lines. Kicked off the ground, Motlop did it cleverly, but the big man Ryan goes by hand, left-handed handball. There's another left-handed handball to no one in particular. Bo Schwarz, he's looking for the handball too. Another left-handed handball. They're mad on the left-hand handballs and they've turned it over. Arbon, well done to him. Delayed it was McLean. Out wide was East. Forward they go. What can they do? Nice one. Arbon kicks on goal. Falls short. Picked up that time. Kick on goal, but a mark taken. Was it 15? They play on quickly. It doesn't matter. Rusker. Switch. Inside. Got to be precise. Wasn't precise, but good enough to take the mark. Defensively, they've been on top. Zach Smith. Just can't quite find the handle. Big Dennis offers, ignores him, gets it out wider that time. Bowden, swing onto the left foot. Looking for and finding Brander, has 4. Loves this spot, directly in front. Man on the mark, 35 metres from goal. Heard that before.
Yeah, and that was lovely composed work from Districts all the way from their back line there, and that mark just in the middle, just juggled a bit, but really set them off, and they just took their time and really hit up each other in that target there and lowered the eyes looking for Brander, who will come in as he's walking in here, and a nice long run up outside that 50, but he'll kick from about 40 out, I'd say.
He likes the long run up. Brander kicks on goal. Goal umpire has some work to do and comes back inside and nails it. So that's 2 to him in this term. And there's your 5.
5 already and still a quarter and 3/4 left of this one. So they'd be looking for someone tall, and Mitch Taylor's missing out there for Wanderers. He's in the runner's vest. So
but it's his aggression too, Taylor's aggression too, and he knows defensively, doesn't matter whether he's in front or behind, just watch out, Mitch Taylor's in the vicinity.
That close down speed from him, they're probably missing a little bit, but he's out there pumping his team up in the water carrier shirt there. So Wanderers still chugging away. They just went for that slingshot heading into their forward line and it almost came off for them. Just that flying shot on goal didn't quite work from their small forwards. But
and look, a little bit of symmetry. 91 plays at 19.
And 13-13 and 3 goals won.
Looks all, yeah, it looks all right. There's a fair bit of symmetry there. Love the scoreboard. Back in the middle. Over the top, Cox won the tap. Jed Anderson, I'm talking. Arbon lifted his game. Gets it out to Cox. Cox goes by hand outside. Swings around. Inside the forward line, Clee. Chasing after the ball. The pace there. All the pace used by Dre Thompson. Not short of pace, but the man chasing him, we've liked his game, Jordan Cotter. But he's into his back, and probably was too. So it's Dre Thompson, a chance to put the 4th goal on the board. But gee, the angles are cute, right of centre for the right footer.
Backs himself though, just showed everyone he's pointing to those goals. He's going to have a crack at this.
So will he just kick the drop punt, or will he try the outside? Drop punt it is, goes for it. Cross the face, no mark taken, ball on the ground. Here comes the defence of Southern Districts. 1 has a crack at it, 2 have a crack at it. Slee, that is. Slee's second effort good. Turns inside, beats a couple. Slee onto the right boot, heads to the boundary line, and the free kick was paid out on the full. But he beat 3 or 4 there. It was just terrific football. Inside they go. One of Shane Thorne's few touches. Nearing 200 games of NTFL footy. Thorne goes to no one. The defence now closes tight. The whistle's gone. Advantage, will it be paid? We didn't see that. It was certainly well off play. And Brander will take a kick on goal. His direct opponent down there, the field umpire, obviously saw something, which we didn't see. And Brander loves these balls. Man on the mark, 35 metres from goal, directly in front.
He's had 2 from here, so can he kick 3 from 3 this quarter?
Oh, there's confidence. Brander. That's why they have 3 field umpires.
They're always watching.
Brander kicks on goal. Goal umpire does a little bit, but comes back inside once again, and he has 3 this quarter. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the third. There's a bit of symmetry.
Sure is, and I'm going to assume, we're not quite sure what it was paid for, but I'm going to assume that the Wanderers player was just hanging on there, and why wouldn't you when he's got a whole half a head or so on you and been clunking marks and goals all day.
Yeah. Zach Petherbridge usually a little bit better than that, but nonetheless, the free kick was paid, and I assume warranted. It was outside of our view. We were all watching the football. We were ball watching. But you're right. You know, he's almost a head taller, isn't he, Brander, compared to Petherbridge?
Sure is, and that height is just killing Wanderers around the ground at the moment. They're just getting their hands first to the footy from all their tools in districts, and their smalls just linking up with handballs. And
the swing man, Bowden, in the middle. Up they go. Ryan wins the tap down. Dinky little handball. Wanderers get the clearance. They go forward. Thompson looking for the football. Can't find it. Pick up and kick. Here comes the defence. Cabillo. No free kick. Kick on goal. Cross the face. Big chance here. Lovely kick inside. Picked up by Cabillo, and Cabillo goals.
That was just beautiful attacking work from Wanderers there, just really taking districts on and backing themselves in front of goals there, and just the ball spilling out to Cabillo there, and Joel Cabillo, and he just kicked a beautiful goal.
They just didn't give up, did they? So once again, it's just that intensity that Wanderers can produce, whether they're on top of the ladder or whether they're near the bottom. 14-13-97, Southern Districts Wanderers 4-1-25. About halfway through the term, 11 and a half minutes.
Yeah, and again, I think they've got it. That ball just went straight into their forward half, and they turned that into a goal as well, which is what they've done every time. That ball's gone into their forward half today. So although districts with a close to 70-point lead, I think Wanderers have really taken their chances when the ball's gone into their forward line, and their forwards have worked well and hard to turn it into the score.
Well, the sums are pretty good. I reckon it's 72 points, so that's around about 70. Very, very good. Ball in dispute. will have a secondary bounce or ball up. Back in the day we used to bounce, now they ball it up. Up they go. Ryan wins the tap. Southern Districts, Bowden out. Back to Bowden, comfortable on the left. Lovely left foot kick. And a nice mark taken, a courageous mark taken. Another player who's been very good is Kane Davidson. Davidson goes forward, looking for Anderson. Anderson has 3, goes by hand, gets it out to Johnston. Johnston looking for Brander. Whacked after he disposed of the ball. They'll pay the kick to Brandon. Now, what's he going to do? Will he run around? He's got to run around, doesn't he?
Go for the snap here.
Beautiful picture, lovely picture on the screen. Brander.
He's going to go for that snap, and Wanderers with that pressure there, just standing there with the umpire. So
it's got to be within 10 metres. Brander runs around and does it beautifully. 7 of the best for the big man. Districts doing as they like. 15, 13, 103. So they can take the helmet off, kiss the emblem. They've reached a ton.
They have, just like Warner reached his ton and then got a duck today, but he reached it.
So 160 to naught. Welcome back.
Yep.
That's David Warner, of course.
That sure is.
We're actually not in Perth. We're at the top of the top end. We're in Darwin.
No, we're not.
No cricket played here.
Not at this time of year with our lovely rain we've been getting over the last few days.
Wonderful. And we look out to the east, which is where they'll come from. There's a storm developing out there, but it will not rain during our game.
Hopefully. You never know. Can't speak too early. It's Cyclone Jasper's coming across to us, so...
Tossed up in the middle. Having a big rest, Matthew Dennis. Picked up that time by your man, Jackson East. He has lifted in this third term. You calling for that?
Yeah, I think he's really read off the taps of Ryan every time here. He's run straight out of that stoppage every time.
And East has got it. You're quite right. Yep, good point. But what happens also is that down back, Southern Districts stop the run.
Just needs his forwards to play in front a bit more.
Yeah. Districts will clear, favouring the outer side. Over the back, Ryan, 1 grab, 2 grabs. Doesn't pay the mark, and neither should he have paid the mark because he didn't mark it. Picked up once again by that defence. Shakes off the tackle. Brandon Rusker. Swings around Bowden. Bowden onto the left foot. George hasn't done a lot. Kicks forward. Looks for. Finds a teammate out there. Grace. Grace looking in the Matthew Dennis direction. Got to be cleared. Petherbridge had a tough day at the office. Gets it out to Ankin Lewis. Lewis kicks forward, but there's that brick wall once again. In they go, looking for Johnston. Matthew Johnston, inside, on the lead, marking interference. Play on called the umpire. Ball on the ground. McLean flips it out, gets it to his teammate out there in Petherbridge. But Petherbridge, under a bit of pressure, or even perceived pressure, it's enough, isn't it? And kicked it out of bounds on the full. Matthew Johnston.
Yeah, working overtime deep in their defence there, and District's just looking very casual, and Wanderers still putting in that effort to cut it off.
Johnston goes inside to Davidson. Loved his game. Davidson up. I don't mind this bloke's game either, and he could have had 10 already. He's only got 7. He'll give this one away. Goes inside, looking for and finding Jed Anderson. Anderson kicked 3 goals in the second term, so he really set the game open and alight.
Hasn't kicked a set shot, though. They've all come from beautiful pickups and smacked on the left.
Point. Yep.
But I would say he's not on much of an angle there, and he's kicking from about 40 out. So
well, he's right of centre, so it suits the left footer, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Anderson to kick on goal, but this time the goal umpire did not move. Jennifer Winsome-Rowe indicates the goal. That's the 4th one for Anderson.
Sure is, and the boys get around him and really celebrate that goal as well, as they should.
So how have you seen Anderson's game? Hasn't always been on the ball. He spent a bit of time up forward, obviously, kicked 4 goals.
Yeah, I think when they put him in the midfield, he really stood up in that second quarter. So it was a bit quiet in that first quarter, but he didn't need much of it in the second to really get into that game. And the start of this third quarter, he's sort of peppered in the forward line, and he's popped up when he's needed to and pushed up the ground as well. So you just know when he's near the footy, you're going to back him every time to really pick it up and make the right decision. So his standout quarter in that second was phenomenal and lifted them. But
he's such a classy player. I mean, he's just come off an AFL list So he shouldn't be too bad a player.
No, and he looks like he's enjoying his footy down here as well, or
It'll
up
be
here.
interesting to see where he goes if he has another stint down south in the TIO or Waffle or VFL.
He's definitely deserving of that, so...
Oh, my word.
Just if he wants it or not.
Nathan Arbon throws the ball back. Districts once again will get the clearance. Over the back, Brander looking forward. And he was just hung on to. It's just a lack of discipline. 2-on-1. And had no alternative but to pay that free kick. Because of the size difference, I think.
Yeah.
When you look at Ankin Lewis against Jared Brander, Lewis might be 178 and Brander would be 198. So with 20 centimetres, that's a fair whack.
That is. It would be interesting.
Particularly if you're in front.
Yeah. It was interesting that two of them were on him then and sort of both just came in quite unsettled.
Too concerned about the bloke rather than the ball. But anyway, Brander to kick on goal. He can't kick him from an angle. And there we go. He can kick him from an angle. So he can get him in front and he can get him from the angle. That's a lazy 8.
5 this quarter. So 5 in 18 minutes isn't a bad stat going on his record sheet.
Well, that's a behind. He missed that.
Oh, he's missed
so
that.
he can't kick him. He can't kick him from the angle. So he's only got 4 this quarter, but nonetheless, it's not a bad effort. And there's a lovely mark. Matthew Dennis goes back with the kick. Gets it to Cotter. Cotter, Anderson, about to play on. Anderson, who's on the lead? Waistcoat, got a couple to beat. 3 there, in fact. Big Ryan. Threw it away.
Waistcoat was off there.
He was off and he was just turning and just ready to bang it in. And Torsion Wright. Terrible kick. Inside defensive 50. The tackle as he kicked. No problem. Series of handballs. Jordan Cotter once again.
Yeah, Wanderers just getting undisciplined here. They've just gotten into Cotter there. He's deserving of that free kick. But hopefully just gets up and takes his kick and doesn't have another reversed free kick like before.
Yeah, like in the end of the second quarter. Here they go. Wanderers, the recipients. Cabillo, the last goal kicker. Knock on, that would be a knock on in rugby league, but we're not playing rugby league. Daniel Clee, been okay. Gets it forward. Nice mark taken. Strong mark taken. This might be Michael Mummery. Hasn't had much of the footy, but he's kicked a couple. Limited opportunities. It is Mummery. Left of centre. Suits the right footer. Distance not an issue for this young man. He's going to go round corners as well.
We love the snap in the AFL these days as well.
Yeah, the round corner kick. Stevie Johnson, I reckon, was the first one, the Geelong flyer. Mummery kicks around the corner, but the mark taken deep, deep, deep in defence. Mazzini, forward, gets it out to a teammate. Delahaye. Outside defensive 50. Anderson. Lovely handball. Quick as you like. One hand bounce. Runs his full measure. Kicks it inside and a good defensive mark taken, that time by Petherbridge. Petherbridge onto the left. As a player, Arbon. He won't let him down. Arbon outside defensive 50 on the outer here at Norbuilt Oval. Arbon swings onto the right. Goes forward. Running hard, Mazzini. Mazzini pushed on the ball, but cleverly tapped the ball back. Picked up by Big Cox. Cox kicks on goal. Who's quickest? Over the top. Oh, high tackle in there. And it was a wonderful effort by Mackenzie Slee. And the Slee, who's umpiring this game? Slee goes forward. Kicks it outside. Back inside the corridor. Schwarz has the footy. Goes to the busy Cotter. Cotter forward. Back inside. Onto the left foot. Roy George. Strong mark. George kicking a half out from goal. Goes forward to the lead of Brander. Brander has Petherbridge on his tail, but the ball is out of bounds. And so Southern Districts have it where they want it.
Exactly where they want it. I think just acknowledging Petherbridge there in the last play that ended up in Wanderers' forward line there. He took front position of that and just read the ball beautifully and worked Brander off the ball and took that mark deep in their forward line, so in their back line, sorry.
Tossed in by the boundary umpire. White over the back, not tall enough. Nose over the footy, but Schwarz, courageous as you like. Picked up then by Palmer, one of the good players out back. Clever by George. Forward they go. Brander too tall. We had him marked down for 5 in this turn. He has a chance to atone.
Sure does, and just a really strong mark there and got front position on Petherbridge to take that mark too. So again, slight angle. He's not great on the angles today, but hopefully he can convert this one.
And one of the things there, Petherbridge, he's playing on a man that's probably 20 centimetres taller than him, and the ball was kicked in a one-on-one contest, and who's going to win when a bloke Brander can play? Brander kicks on goal, and he has let you down. He still let you down. He still hasn't kicked 5 for the turn.
Doesn't love those angles today. Wanderers will look to move this ball quite fast out of their back line there.
7 goals for the game so far. We haven't reached three-quarter time yet, although it's imminent. I'll go back, Wanderers. It's got to be precise. Back to Arbon. He won't let anyone down. Been a terrific player all season. Probably leading their best and fairest, I reckon. Arbon, well outside defensive 50. Big man Dennis runs hard at the football. Can't take it. Matthew Motlop clears the ball, running Mazzini. He'll leave it for his teammate out there, Slee. Slee, great tackle. Another good tackle. They're working hard in their forward line, Wanderers, but the calm, cool, collected defensive work by Southern Districts. But did he whack him after disposal? Waistcoat, lurking, ball on the ground. George gets it back, spots a teammate, running into an open goal. And I reckon he's got it. He has got it. That's Michael De Jong on debut. Got a goal for Southern Districts. Well done to him. But a series of handballs, that was wonderful footy.
That was beautiful work, and they've just clocked back into those handballs again, Districts, and really moved that ball beautifully down deep into their forward line. But the few tackles of Dre Thompson for Wanderers, I think, razzed a few of the Districts boys up. But he's a strong man, a passionate man down there, and he's just come off the bench for a quick break. But District's beautiful composure then, just to really keep moving that ball forward and ignore the off the ball.
So well into time on in Q3, 17-15, 117, Southern Districts, the home side. Wanderers 4-1-25, round 11 of the NTFL. And on the island, the Tiwi Bombers had an upset win over St Mary's.
Sure
the game was called off after half-time. There was severe weather in the area, and the Bombers were leading at the time. 30 minutes elapsed, and they were awarded the game, which is according to the laws of the game.
Yeah, so they took the chocolates over on Tiwi, and I'm sure they'll be up and about with all their supporters and things in front of their home crowd, and that's the rules with the Lightning, and score stands make you take your chances early. And
you do, that's right. The ball tossed up in the middle. Ryan over the top. Thorne gets it out. Goes in the direction of East, who has lifted in this third term. Been pretty good. But so is that man, Petherbridge. No, Pemberton, I'm sorry, Pemberton. Got a job to do, and he's done it beautifully. Wanderers get it forward, ball drops short. Goes by hand. Little chip forward. One way, then the other. Kicks on goal. He actually head-butted him. Kicked off the ground, so good umpiring to call play on. Had his head down and ran into his opponent, that Wanderers player, so no high tackle. In the defence, the ball comes out to the strong man, Kane Davidson, and he rushes the ball through for a behind.
yeah, Jackson East has just won, I think, every clearance this quarter, reading the ball off Ryan's tap there, and good on him for just keeping Wanderers in this game.
Here's a relayed free kick from the kick-in. Players have got to clear that area around the goal. They didn't do that. Michael Bowden sells the dummy. Spears one in. chopped off. Petherbridge. Mark dropped. But he was good enough, right, to get around. Has a bounce. Could have had another one. Kicks forward. Matthew Dennis lurking. Dennis plucks the ball, goes by hand, back to Dennis. Dennis in the corridor, clears defensively, over the back. The mark taken by Clee. Clee will go wide. McLean. Looked like it came off the side of the boot, but it wasn't. There's your man again, Jackson East. Certainly has lifted in this third term. East inside. Close to three-quarter time. Can they nail one? Cleverly knocked out. Little chip forward and out to Shane Thorne, and Thorne within kicking distance. Loves a goal, Shane Thorne. Left of centre. There's the siren. The right footer. Can he get the fifth goal? 17-15, 117. Southern Districts, that won't change.
He's just going to take his full time here. He's just having a breather. He's popped the ball on the ground. Just give me a moment, let me compose myself. He's probably thinking the umpire's just having a chat to him.
All eyes are on Shane Thorne.
The umpire probably saying, step 1 foot off your mark, off your line, and it'll be play on.
It'll be play on, and therefore no score. Well, I hope the umpire has reminded him. He shouldn't need to. However, if the player steps over the mark forward, he can still pay 50. Thorne, the kick on goal, looks immaculate off the boot, and the goal umpire says, yep, it's a goal. And so the scoreboard, 17-15, 117, Wanderers 5-2-32. It was all Districts in that turn.
It was, and a slightly straighter kicking by Districts, and we will take a short break and be back with you for this round 11, the last quarter of this round 11 game at Norbuilt Oval.
Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Process. And a bit of constructive talk. I know it's hard, we've been all from the same footy club, but we've come together for this. Show that passion in the NT Guernsey, get in their face.
played their hearts out, and obviously it's not what we play 6-6-6 and 7 on the bench, so it's a little bit different. But you know what? We can't ask for anything more. The girls put their bodies on the line, and they went in and they went hard, and you know, some of it was unrewarded, but that's footy.
All right, welcome to the last quarter of this round 11 action of our 2023-2024 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League game between Southern Districts and Wanderers. We have Southern Districts leading the Wanderers 17 goals, 15 behinds, 117 to Wanderers 5 goals, 2 behinds, 32. And Ian, heading into our final quarter, what are we hoping to see from our Districts boys and Wanderers boys here?
Yeah, well, look, I don't know. I mean, 28 points at quarter time, 59 points at half time, now 85 points, as you indicated. Perhaps the message might have been to Wanderers players from coach Aaron Motlop, win the term. Small, just a small number, just a small effort, win the term. And I think that Wanderers, they're still playing with intensity, but they just can't quite match Southern Districts, who are really flying high. 17, 15, 117, that tells the tale. Ball up, dispute. Schwarz over the football, still no clearance. East had his hand on the football, had plenty of possessions in that third term. You're looking for a lift from him, and we got it, Sam. But it's the clearance goes to Southern Districts. Jed Anderson has 4, gets the ball out in the direction of the goal, still in the corridor. No high tackle. Should have knocked the ball out. Anderson says, give it to me, I'll get it, I'll take it, and has 5.
Loves that end. He kicked his
33 seconds, into the term, and he's got his 5th.
Oh, good. He loves that end. He couldn't kick a goal, or kicked 1 from a set shot in the third quarter there, but took 4 on the snap, 3 on the snap in the second quarter, and that's his end, I'd say.
So he has 5. Jared Brander has 7, and the rest are all singles to Beau Schwarz, Wyatt Ryan, Matthew Dennis, Mitch Pemberton, Michael De Jong on debut, and Stanley Waistcoat. Waistcoat's been a little bit quiet. I mean, he's done some good things and had a couple of opportunities, but by his standards...
Definitely a bit quiet, and I reckon we'll see him pop up in this last term. But you've had the 2 big tools in Dennis and Brander really owning that forward line all game, so he hasn't really had that much of an opportunity to get that footy.
They go Dennis in the ruck. Ball on the ground. Dennis rucks. Dennis roves. Gets it out by hand. Another handball in the direction of Brodie Grace. Hasn't had a lot of possessions, but what he's had have been nice. Hard after the footy. Wanderers working hard. Dragged off the footy was Grace. Did he throw it away? He was grabbed before he had possession. Grace gets inside the corridor. Clee done some good things. Pushed his opponent in the side, out of the contest. McLean dragged off the footy. Nice little handball out. Runs his full measure in the direction. Big Ryan down there. But nice work off the ground. Wanderers working overtime in the early stages of this final quarter. Clee defensively takes the mark. Mazzini on the mark. Clee goes inside the corridor. Matthew Motlop, who started the game off beautifully, hasn't had many opportunities subsequent to that. The goal kicker there. Couple to beat, can't beat two. Ball on the ground, the field umpire says give it to me, and they do.
Yeah, I think we were just talking at quarter time that Ryan spent a lot of time in the ruck for districts today, and on cue they've chucked Matty Dennis in the ruck to start off this term. So
they put Ryan in the forward line there to complement Brander, which is what you like. You like the two tools down there.
Yeah, the two tools really owning that forward line. So it's either Dennis or Ryan's been owning that with Brander all game.
Cox goes forward. Arbon, been fantastic. Arbon, big kick forward for Wanderers. Out wide, Mackenzie Slee running after the footy, leaves it for a teammate. Out it goes, picked up Wanderers, kicked toward goal, and a lovely mark taken. They've just been so good, the defence, it's been watertight. Inside, Kane Davidson. Gets it out to Pemberton. Mark not taken. Look, there's just so many Wanderers Districts players to Taj Stanley. Stanley turns the ball over. Let's win the quarter, Wanderers. Into the corridor. Nicely done, Arbon. Running player is East. Saw him running, takes the mark, continues on his way, runs his full measure. Kicks toward goal and kicks across the face of goal. Unfortunately for him, the minor score. But Wanderers, they've started off pretty positively.
They sure did. It almost looked like a training drill just then. Districts have, from the mark at Cotter down back, and then switched it out to this far side, turned over by Wanderers and went back down the other side. So Wanderers just putting in, really trying to finish off this last term strong.
So 5 minutes coming up, 5 minutes in. Just the solitary goal. Jed Anderson got the goal for Southern Districts. No one there to stop the run out of defence. Out to Mazzini by hand. Back inside. Back to Mazzini, the old 1-2. Still in the corridor. Out they go. That time Jack Palmer. One of the heroes down back, the unsung heroes. The pace that time of Taj Stanley. Gets it out to a running player in Palmer. Palmer off half back. Kicks it forward and he'll pay the mark. He was knocked his arm. And the mark, a warranted mark there taken to Michael De Jong on debut. Kicked a goal in the third term. De Jong well within scoring distance, pretty much directly in front. Man on the mark, 35 from goal.
Yeah, it seems like in this quarter there's plenty of space around the ground there for both sides actually, and that ball movement's just been really composed from that kick out by Cotter here and for Districts.
Jordan Cotter's been really, really good. De Jong kicks on goal. They all like it down there.
Sure do.
That's his second.
Yeah, and as you said, he's on debut here, just having an impact when he needs to as well and taking those nice strong marks down forward for him then.
They haven't had a poor player, Southern Districts, have they?
No, it's been a real team performance, and we're talking about who would be looking towards our better players for Districts, and the list just kept going. So they've all really contributed with the 7 multiple goal scorers across the ground as well that work right from your mids into your forward line as well. So it's great for Districts to see there, but Wanderers keeping them to 2 goals in the first 7 minutes, which has been good defensive pressure by them.
So Matthew Dennis in ruck. Big Ryan down with Brander. Cox, the sole tapper. Cox wins the tap, but only out as far as Davidson. Davidson kicked under pressure. Out to Maney. Maney kick, good enough. They'll swing inside on the right boot. 2 or 3. Dennis gets it, kicks on the non-preferred left, but good defensive work. Yet they go to Clee. Waistcoat on the mark. Clee inside defensive 50. What's he going to do? Not too much on offer, is there? So he's got to play defensively, go across the face of goal. Got to be precise. Is precise. That's not all that flash. Trey Thompson, good enough. Gets it forward in the east direction, but out of bounds on the full. Matthew Dennis doing what he likes.
Cotter's just sitting out on this wing waiting for that switch to happen and hoping it comes all the way out to him.
Zach Smith. That was a strong mark, wasn't it? Looking forward. Over the back, no mark taken. We've got to work harder in defence, easy as you like, and that's number 6. I reckon that's number 6, and that was Jed Anderson. 2 in this term. Has had a day out.
Sure has. He went up for that mark, but just maintained his feet on the ground and just waited out the back, keeping his space there, and ran straight into an open goal, banging it straight through on the left as he does so casually every time.
A lazy 6.
Lazy 6. Lazy 7 for Brander at the moment. Impressive.
2015, 135 to 5-3-33. 8.5 minutes into Q4.
It's been a beautiful day out here at Norbuilt. It's often a bit warm, but the overcastness just kept the temperatures down a little bit. So as we head into this afternoon sun.
And it did not rain.
No.
Back into the middle. Dennis probably won it by a fingernail. It'll be cleared. Wanderers get it. They have to go backwards. Now they can work forward. Bad luck, couldn't take the mark. Might have been taken high. Play on called the umpire. Kicks it inside. The defence now of Southern Districts. 1 against 4. Wanderers have got to use a little bit of voice in here. Roy George, Stanley Waistcoat. Jordan Cotter. Been a star. Cotter goes forward. Gets it to Jong. De Jong. Dennis pushes it further forward with the mark in defence. Wanderers. Now they go to Clee. Clee, nicely done. Cabillo, a goal kicker. Joel Cabillo swings onto the right boot, looking out for Simon Bates. Been quiet by his normal prolific standards. Bates, beautifully weighted kick. Ankin Lewis, another left footer, kicks it inside. Shane Thorne. Thorne swings on the right, too short, pushed off the football. Rusker uses extreme pace. Rusker gets it out to Zach Smith, turns it over. Thorne pushed off the football. Bowden not pushed off the football. Gets the ball out to Johnston. Johnston goes on to Brodie Grace. Grace kicks forward, over the back. Waistcoat can't take the mark. Cleverly knocked the ball away. Wanderers looking to clear. Jed Anderson running around, shrugs the tackle, gets onto the left boot, sees Brander and picks him out beautifully.
That composure there from Jed Anderson, beautiful work. And Brander so casual.
Could he have goal there, Anderson?
Oh, I reckon he can, but he's smart enough to lower the eyes and look for a teammate and play that real team game as he always does.
But Brander can't kick goals from angles. Lovely in front. If he's within 35 in front, he kicks them every time. But the angle is the difficult shot for Brander. Has 7. Anderson has 6.
Tight angle for a right footer here.
Runs slightly off the line, kicks, and just brings it back nicely, I reckon. Has 8, the big man.
And he's nailed that. The commentator's curse has opposed him.
Finally.
He's broken it.
He has. He's got 8. Anderson 6.
I think that's the most Brander's kicked in a game all season. So a season high bag of goals for Brander at the moment. Still got another 10 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes left of this quarter.
Yeah, at least 15 minutes, I would say. Southern Districts 21-15, 141. Wanderers 5-3-33. Districts, now it becomes a percentage booster, doesn't it?
Sure does, and that's where they just can't lose their structure and actually look for each other around the ground and be composed to really boost that percentage and get those more goals on.
They've used Ryan and Dennis quite cleverly. Here's Ryan back in the ruck. Knocks it back in the direction of Roy George. Pinched by White. White runs his full measure. Bangs on goal. Goes forward. Over the back. Can't take the mark. Mummery. And it's a minor score. But that's a good entry.
That's how easy Wanderers can do it. Straight to you. Districts switch off for that split second. So they've still got it in them.
Long kick. Well outside defensive 50.
Waistcoat.
And in front. Good mark taken that time by Waistcoat. Long way down the ground. Waistcoat. Wastes no time. Gets it forward. Rusker has the pace. Gets it to Anderson. Anderson on your left foot. Have a shot. Does not have a shot. Doesn't listen to me. Goes forward. Looks for Brander and finds him.
Knows exactly where he is. Brander just held his lead nicely there and just waited for Jed to lift his eyes and have a look for him and just really nailed him straight there. So another kick on, set shot on goal there from the opposite side on a bit of an angle. So this should suit him, being a right footer, but can he kick it?
Of course he can. Of course he can. Isn't that the little engine? I think I can. I think I can. Brander kicks. Awkward kicking style, but good enough. Good enough.
Unorthodox, doesn't matter how it got there, just got there in the end. So that's another for this quarter for Brander, taking him up to 9 for the game.
Brander, 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the third, and 2 in this final term. So Wanderers, if they were looking to win the last quarter, they've got to do some work, don't they? Because Southern Districts now have just taken over once again.
Yeah, they have, and just mixing up that midfield and having a go. I think White's gone into the ruck now, so he'll have a tap on goal there, tap through the middle there, and I think just really manning up nice and tight onto those Districts boys that are just linking up through the middle might be a strategy for Wanderers.
You know, I'm missing a goal for Wanderers. It was Shane Thorne got a goal, didn't he?
Sure did. So I think we've got a Wanderers free kick from the middle here.
Bates on the left foot, immaculate as usual. The big left foot. Petherton has a couple to beat. But does it? It's just everything he does. I mean, out to Bates again. No, that's Arbon. Arbon out to Motlop. Matthew Motlop. Matthew Motlop. Having a shot on goal. Flying over the back, took the Mummery. No, it's not Mummery running into an open goal. But it's a minor score. Gee, that was strong, that effort. Davis White it was.
And Tyson White just went up for the leap. Why not? Give it a crack.
Yeah, yep.
See if he can take a ripper, boost those morales for this last quarter.
Give the supporters something to cheer about. Districts to bring the ball back in. Have a player wide. Mackenzie Slee, will he go for him?
Like
goes by hand over the top to Zach Smith. Smith still inside defensive 50. It's the ball out, nicely done by Taj Stanley. Stanley down to Roy George. George has a player inside. It's Stanley. Another little kick. Back to Stanley, the old 1-2. Stanley's had a few possessions. Touched off the boot. Got some work to do. Are they good enough? Roy George. Well done by Wright. Again Wright. Swings on the left boot. Which, cleverly back. And a nice tap forward.
Deserves this.
And Jackson East has kicked across the face. They just cannot bury one.
No, it looked like a goal from here. I thought it was deserving of that goal, but it's gone through for a behind, and the goal umpire in the better position.
Goal umpire in perfect position, and there's no one complaining, which is usually a good sign. Slee runs his full measure. Gets it out wide. Lovely mark taken. Done it with poise. Bowden. Been fantastic. Bowden goes in the Mazzini direction. Mazzini bends down. Finds the handle. Runs his full measure. Kicks it forward to an unmarked player there in Brodie Grace. Grace kicked over the head and Wanderers will clear. Swing onto the left boot. Did it nicely. Arbon. East. Out wide. Motlop has a bounce after 2 metres. Swings inside to a leading player down there, but too good. Far too good.
Looks like Cotter there.
Yeah, once again it's Cotter. Been fantastic.
So good by Wanderers here. See if they can lock it in deep inside their forward 50. So they've stemmed the flow of those first few goals that District's put on the board.
Boundary umpire, Matthew Dennis. Probably a little bit crude there, but the shepherd out paid by the umpire. So Matthew Dennis, who was just too big in the ruck.
Shane Thorne a bit undersized there.
Yeah, yeah.
There's nothing else you can do apart from give it a crack.
Yeah. Dennis, just so precise for a big man with the boot, isn't he? Both by foot and hand. Play on called the umpire, will go back. Matthew Dennis, another possession. Gee, they lose nothing, absolutely nothing. The best big man in the competition and the second big man in the competition.
Ooh.
Something off play. Did you pick up anything there?
Yeah, just a hanging on there to Shane Thorne, who was just trying to follow the ball there, and the umpire spotted it, and he'll take this free kick on.
Mackenzie Slee gave away the free kick. Shane Thorne loves a goal and will kick this surely. Already has one. Pretty much directly in front.
Just give Wanderers a nice breather and a chance to reset as well.
Yep. But the problem is comes in the ruck, doesn't it? With due respect to Kane Cox, because
he's been good all day.
The Southern District's ruckmen have just won the ball all day.
So they've said the play's gone over the mark, and it'll be a 50-metre penalty. Lucky for Shane Thorne, because that went through for a behind, so we'll get a second shot at this and hopefully puts it through. But as you said, Kane Cox in the ruck, he's done phenomenal all day, just trying to compete all day and really start it from the middle, doesn't it?
Well, it does. I wonder what he'll do. He didn't kick it out of the ground. Shane Thorne, well done to you. So he has a brace. He has a couple. Mummery has a couple, but pretty slim pickings after that. Joel Cabillo has a goal, and Jackson East got one in the first term. But the game has belonged to the forward line of Southern Districts. Jared Brander with 9, and Jed Anderson, half a dozen.
Half a dozen, rolling through the midfield, rolling through the forward line, an absolute utility for the districts, Southern Districts, and it's nice to see him back out here. And as you said before, just looking for his teammates as well, not just blazing away on goal as much as we'd love to see him and see those fancy flashy goals, but really supporting that team and bringing them together.
Back we go. Let's see how Cox goes in the ruck.
Looks like Matty Dennis is back in there, and Wanderers players are just everywhere, all over the ground at the moment, all trying to work out where they're supposed to be.
They're having a count, the 6, 6 and 6. They've been warned once, so the free kick will go to Matthew Dennis. So we didn't even see the contest. They've got to stay in their 6, 6 and 6.
Oh. Wasn't aware of that rule, that once the free kick had been paid, you had to stay in that 6, 6, 6, so the umpire just moving everyone else back into position. Dennis lays the ball off, this time to Stanley. The running machine, Stanley goes forward looking for Brander. Ball on the ground, out it comes. The defence now of Wanderers. Got to work, do work, but only as far this time as Ethan Maney. Maney will bang the ball back in. Too easy. Oh, Bo Schwarz dropped what he certainly should have taken.
If that had been a Christmas pudding, it'd be splattered. We could all get out there and have a bit. Stanley. Districts fighting each other to get to the football. Bowden had time to turn onto his left. And the chance to kick number 10.
Goal number 10. So he's not quite out in front here, but on a slight angle.
Oh, gee whiz.
Shouldn't affect. I don't know if he's going to kick this.
Get the protractor out. Is about 1 degree off centre, and he nails it for number 10.
So we're well into overtime here of this last quarter of Southern Districts versus Wanderers in the Men's Premier League game, and Districts leading the charge, 23 goal 15, 153 to Wanderers, 6 goal 6, 42. And as we said before, multiple goal scorers for both sides today, and big bags to Jared Brander, and Jed Anderson kicking 10 and 6 respectively so far. So.
And the debutant Michael De Jong is the only other multiple goal scorer for Southern Districts. A couple of multiples for Wanderers. Shane Thorne has 2. Michael Mummery has 2. The other goal kickers Joel Cabillo and Jackson East. So 23.5 minutes into the final term. Dennis in the ruck, knocks it forward. Rusker, Matthew Motlop, nice hands, clean hands, held up waistcoat. Give it to me, the field umpire should say, no prior. There obviously was a prior because Arbon's been free kicked. Waistcoat has it, kicks across the face of goal. Easy as you like. Bowden. Bowden goes forward to the big man. Wyatt Ryan. Too far out to score. Ryan sets it up in the Brander direction. Doesn't need to. He got 10, double figures. Series of handballs. Zach Smith. Been okay. Ryan will take the ruck. Poor old Cox. He's weary. He's had enough. He's had a couple of big fellas to contend with all game, but I think you made the point that he's been, at least he's had a crack. He's been in there. Mummery held, the ball's held to him. Petherbridge, well done to him.
I think everyone's just waiting for this final siren here, which surely we've only got
in attack. You're quite right.
A minute or two left, and just holding that footy up around the ground.
Ryan gets it out in the Rusker direction, uses his pace, always uses his pace, runs around in circles. Mazzini, wide, gets it forward. Matthew Dennis throws himself at the football. There's a couple of Eagles or muck-mucks on top of him.
I think Wanderers just came away with that free kick there for holding the footy, and absolutely warranted. He just tried to hold that ball up.
Not much effort to knock the ball out. Good free kick, good decision. Kicked across the face of goal. Running player. Swings onto the left.
Cotter takes a strong mark there, and he just read that beautifully against the 2 Wanderers boys that were on him.
He's been fantastic, hasn't he?
Sure
he's been
has.
overshadowed by 2 or 3 others, but by gee, he's been fantastic. This bloke, Bowden, he's also been fantastic. They've had so many good players. Brodie Grace. Kicked into the man on the mark. Couple of handballs. Johnston looking for the 10-goal kicker. Jared Brander. He'll kick this one pretty much on the siren. He's going to go around corners.
Better be quick. The siren might beat him if he wants to go off his line.
He'll still have the kick, but he's going to have to run on the line. He can't run off the line if the siren sounds. Of course it hasn't, so he can do what he likes. Brander runs around, kicks on goal. Terrible effort. I shouldn't say that. He's kicked 10.
He's just a bit fatigued. He's also probably kicked about 4 or 5 behinds as well for this game, so he's had a lot of the footy up forward.
He certainly has, but he's had some mates. Ankin Lewis, left footer. Lewis, 27-minute mark. High tackle in there. Just too tall, too strong, too big. Ryan, what's he got on offer? Goes forward, only as far as the Wanderers' defence. I'll go back, Lewis. Arbon. Has Thorne. Thorne at centre half back. Runs his full measure. Looking wide.
Crowd not happy about that free kick then.
We could hear the crowd through the effects, Mike. Slee. And they go wide. Jack Palmer. I've liked his game. Joel Cabillo. Pretty good effort. Bowden. Braden McLean. There's the siren. 23-16, 154. Terrific effort to Wanderers. 6-6-42. Major goal kickers, 10 goals to Jared Brander, 6 goals to Jed Anderson. But just a comprehensive win by Southern District, I reckon.
Sure was, and I think some others on top of those two standouts. And Matthew Johnston, he was great around the grounds all game. Michael Bowden, so composed. Jordan Cotter, can't go past him in the half-back line. Just read the footy beautifully and cut everything off heading back into there. And on the Wanderers side, I thought Matthew Motlop all game, just strong, deep in defence for them. And Jackson East around the midfield. Daniel Clee, Kane Cox in the ruck, competitive all game. And Nathan Arbon just did not stop as their captain and really led from the front for them. So I'm not sure about you, Ian. Do you see anyone else stand out?
No, I think you've hit the nail on the head. Braden McLean, you mentioned, I thought he was very good. I mean, the defence worked overtime, Matthew Motlop, but the story really is the forwards for Southern Districts. Jed Anderson, whether he was up forward, whether he was on the ball, just had a string of